Nko. Mole. Alnana. This is it. Okay, this is it. So Salaso. Binda Bije. Binda Tije. Kabe Buncho. Almanyon Soto. I am so humbled and privileged to be sitting right here. Could you guys believe it? I am blessed again. Nko, Ali Angelo, what happened? Nto, Alatento, I am blessed and blessed. So I'm going to just share a little bit with you guys. We are here. Today is Sunday, Pinto Media Network. I want everybody home. If you guys can hear me clearly, roll in as usual. I have a special guest. Yes. So Salaso, Minda Tije. Nko, I want you guys to let me know if you guys can hear me clearly. Look, y'all listen to Jalaba what he's saying right now. He's singing about Sadauda, the leaders. And guess what? I have one of the leaders sitting right here. We have Mrs. Jaha Dukureh Manneh in the building. We are humbled. This lady right here, this is it. I don't usually say call it this is it, but she is globally recognized leader. I mean, the sister is in the building. When you call women's right, this lady fights for women's right. What else should I hit my chest for? She get it all. She backed all the women around the world, not just back home. So, but what Mandinkas will say, Nko chokoreka dia chokoreka dia kuoka dia chokorefa wala dako. We will let her come in. I'm telling you, she is DOI. She's part of DOI now. Yes. When she said she's joining politics, I pulled my hair. What? I'm telling you, but I will ask her all about that. How come, with all her success, and she is still home, saying, I will still continue fighting for those women, fighting for those children, fighting for those people that cannot fight for themselves. I mean, she's here. That's all I can say. I will stop here. And we'll start the conversation. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Wa alaikum salam. Thank you so much, Binta, for having me. And thank you to everyone that is watching us currently. I am so humbled, and it's such an honor to be here with such a powerhouse like yourself. And we need more women in the media. We need more women with platforms like this where we can come and share our truth. So I am so happy to be here today.
You see, I cannot even stop smiling. Before even I go in, the moment they said, I want to confess something. One day I was at work and this co-worker said, do you know this lady is from Gambia? Her name is Jaha Dukureh. When I heard the Dukureh, I was like, okay, well, what is it? She said, Binta, calm down. It's all good. It's all good. That's when I started following you. I said, how did I miss this? She said, did you know that Time magazine mentioned this lady? She's one of the leaders for influential people for Africa. I said, okay, hold on now, girl. So I want to bring you in. We are blessed. We call ourselves Grassroots. This platform is for respect. That's our legacy here. That's what we want to leave for our children. So anybody watching us, our special guest is here. Y'all know me now. Today we're going to be down and we will be talking about women, children, and all her work. Then we go into politics. Mrs. Jaha Dukureh, we just want you to tell us, since this is your first time, some people are watching you, they don't know who you are. We just want to know something about you. She's on mute. Hold on. You are on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we just want to
Yes.
know who Mrs. Jaha Dukureh Manneh is. Mm-hmm.
So just to introduce myself, my name is Jaha Dukureh, and I am originally from Gambisara. I was born in Gambisara and grew up in Serakunda. And I moved to the US for an arranged marriage when I was 15 years old. And basically, I started an NGO called Safe Hands for Girls. And the way Safe Hands started is, before I started the organization, usually I would blog online about my experiences of being a child bride and the things that I was living with at the time. And I did not realize that the rest of the work, because I was living in Atlanta working as a banker for Wells Fargo at the time. And I never realized that by me doing the blogs or coming online talking about FGM and child marriage would lead to where I am today. And Allah knows that that was never my intention. I just thought that I was sharing my experience so other women could learn from it. So fast forward to 2014 when I started a Change.org petition asking President Obama to look into the number of women that are impacted by FGM in the US. And more than 220,000 people signed my Change.org petition.
Mm-hmm.
And President Obama then ordered the CDC to conduct a study and to measure the number of people as well as the services that are needed. So, with the CDC conducting that study, we were able to work with the Health and Human Services in the US, and we were able to secure about $40 million in funding that went to hospitals as well as organizations. And what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of what I worked on, I never personally took any of that funding. None of the US government funding on FGM ever came to me or my organization. We never even applied for any of it. What we were doing was advocating for women, advocating for families to receive the needed services. And then with President Obama ordering the CDC and then me serving as an advisor to the Obama administration when it comes to issues relating to African women. So I did that throughout President Obama's presidency. And in fact, I worked very closely with Joe Biden's office. Then he was vice president. And the reason why it was because the portfolio that dealt with violence against women and girls sat with the vice president and not the president of the US at the time. So within that work, I decided to come back to the Gambia, and along with other young people, we started Safe Hands for Girls, which created the first youth movement, I guess, in the Gambia, along with organizations like Think Young Women. And a lot of the work that we did led to the former president, Yahya Jammeh, banning FGM in the Gambia, and then also child marriage in the Gambia. Parliament, of course, passed the law. And with a lot of the advocacy that I was doing, Time magazine, of course, named me one of the 100 most influential people in the world, along with people like President Obama, as well as some of the global leaders, because I was named in the category of leaders. And at the time, I think I was either 24 or 23. And then, 2018, I became the first regional Goodwill Ambassador for UN Women. And it was the first time UN Women appointed someone to be a regional ambassador for Africa. And you have to think about something when it comes to Goodwill Ambassadors within the United Nations. It's normally the Hollywood superstars or the A-list celebrities in the US that are normally given positions like that because of who they are, and they want them to bring visibility to a certain issue or to a certain cause. So day after UN Women appointed me as a Goodwill Ambassador, I found out that I was also nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, becoming the youngest African to ever be nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. But to me, what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of these accolades, as well as think, we do this work because we're doing it for our people, right? We do this work because it's not a career for us. It's about what we have experienced ourselves and making sure that the next woman doesn't go through a lot of the things that we've been through. And I can 100% sit here and say that when I led the organization that I founded called Safe Hands for Girls, never once did they accept any form of government funding. We never received government funding while I led the organization. Recently became the first time Safe Hands for Girls received funding from the Canadian government, and this was just a month ago. And I have not worked for the organization for the last 3 years. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is, along the roles that I've held for the United Nations, for the last 3 years, I've also been a senior consultant for the World Bank, managing a project that is the health focus when it comes to women's economic empowerment, in dealing with demographic dividend. And yes, pretty much, I think in a nutshell, that's who I am. I am an activist. I am an entrepreneur. I am someone who believes in the protection of women and girls. And that's what my life's work has been about. A lot of what has happened along the way wasn't intentional, but I think that's the thing. When you're true to what you do and what you believe, all of these things eventually come to you, whether you like it or not. And that's, yeah, pretty much my story.
That's what really happened. Let me say that too in Mandinka. I come in for FGM, one of female genital mutilation on Nyaka Tota. I will work activist. So I will work. So some people might ask, what is FGM? Female genital mutilation. Willem Nyaka Tota. I will work. Alata kola for be saying Lualota Gambia, me alonko Musol Manyanatala Nyaka. Thank you. So we welcome you once again. So we were just sitting there. Yeah, one day, boom, they say Jaha endorsed PDOIS. What make you even think that you should or do politics? When it comes to politics in Africa, politics back home, it's so difficult for so many reasons.
Yes.
What make you think that you should join politics?
I mean, I think the reason why is I am Gambian to begin with, and I care deeply about my country. The reason why I am Jaha Dukureh, or the reason why I am everything that I am, my first identity in life is being Gambian. And I personally believe that if Allah gives you something, like I would say this in the local language, comme yalla sula maye dara dama gumne yalla mayu lako daf lako denka. And that's very important pour nga understand ne momale loko sa boba. So sude man gena na Gambia, madem fo xamantene aduna bi ñu xamma te man ma neka Gambian, dama fogg ne it would be a shame for me to think because man I have made it and the world recognizes me, because of that duma involve suma bopa in my country's politics, because somehow man dama gumne man ma mak lolu, somehow man dama gumne man ma uppa lolu, then I will be doing a disservice not only to myself, but I will be doing a disservice to my country. And the reason is being a women's rights activist and championing the cause of women across the world, right? I believe that is why it's even more important for women like me to actively participate in politics, because we know how Africa is. We know how hard it is for women to have a seat at the table. But I personally believe that with someone like me coming on board and saying that I endorse this party, and saying that I'm endorsing them because of my own values, and knowing that this is the party that I aligns with, I'm hoping that that would make more women join politics, even if it's not joining PDOIS as a party, but I do want to see more women participate actively in the direction that our country is taking, if that makes sense.
Yes. Let me take you back. The hurdles in politics. But before we go to that, what are some of the hurdles you faced, not just Gambia, but around the world when you started your activism? The difficulties.
I mean, I think for me, I'm a Pan-Africanist. A lot of people would probably think that this is the most contradicting thing, right? But I believe in the potential of Africa. And I believe that a lot of institutions that have been set up are not there to benefit Africa. When you look at, I work for the World Bank, I'm a senior consultant for the World Bank, but you look at institutions like World Bank and the way they give loans out to Africa, these systems are set to leave us in poverty, right? So when you have people like me that have actually gone and worked within these systems and understand the structures that are in place and understand how those structures work against us, I think that is why it's important for people like us to be not only part of politics. But the challenges that I face is when I'm in the West, right? People think that I'm too African, because if you notice when I go out, even when recently when I went to Fashion Week in New York, the flyer that you made for this program, the outfit that I wore that to the New York Fashion Week. The reason why is I'm always making a statement about who I am and where I am from, right? And then when I come home in the Gambia, people are always accusing you of being a Western puppet or doing the work that you do because someone in the West is paying you, when they don't realize that every single day you wake up putting your people first, showing that the reason why I think my organization, for instance, we've been doing this work for the past 7 and 8 years by right, because of the accolades and everything that we do. If we were donor driven, Safe Hands for Girls would have been a multi-million-dollar organization by now. But the reason is we will not take money from any donor that wants to tell us how to serve our people. And I think that has been one of the biggest hindrances for the organization, which is why a lot of times, and people in the Gambia don't even know this, a lot of the money that goes into Safe Hands for Girls is personally from my money. You know L'Oreal Paris. You know that L'Oreal is the biggest cosmetic brand in the world. And Binta, when someone receives an endorsement deal from companies like that, what that means. And what a lot of people don't realize is the reason why I do things like that is because I want the next Gambian girl to know that those things are attainable for them and they can get it if they want it. But if you don't see someone that looks like you, someone that speaks like you in the face of magazines or in the face of products that are being sold to you, how do you ever see yourself achieving those kinds of things? So at the end of the day, everything I do with intention is about promoting our agenda as Africans and as Gambians.
Yes. And you've been raising that flag and raising it and raising it. I'm not joking. We've been following. Thank you. Thank you. When that lady came and said, she's from Gambia, I was owning everything. Yes, she is. Yes. So thank you so much. So politics. Politics. Why politics? And why
So
PDOIS?
I mean, I think with PDOIS, right, a lot of times people are talking about the fact that PDOIS is socialist in nature, right? But you look at the US, for instance, you look at the Section 8 housing programs that you have. You look at the WIC programs that you have as a mother when you give birth to your child. The fact that the government is helping you with milk, they're helping you with all of these services, right? And then you look at the food stamp programming that America has for people that don't have. All of these are socialist programs. And as a country like the Gambia, right, when you think about how we take care of each other, we don't have homelessness in the Gambia. That's because we're socialist in nature, by tradition, by culture, the way we take care of our families, the way we take care of each other. That's what socialism values are. And for me, I personally believe that a poor country like the Gambia, the only way we can move forward is by helping our people, is by uplifting our people out of poverty. We cannot uplift our people out of poverty with a capitalism mentality. Gambia is a mixed state wherein we have some components of capitalism and we have some components of socialism. And it's important that these systems work hand in hand in order for us to have an effective country that works for every single person and not only for the people that are rich. When you look at a lot of international help or organizations that are based in the Combo area, right? The people that are attending those NGOs, like when I was young, for instance, I used to be a member of Lend a Hand Society. But the reason why I had access to an organization like Lend a Hand Society is because I could pay for transportation and attend their programs. But there are a lot of families in the Gambia that can't even afford the 3 daily meals that are required, not to talk about attend something for their own leisure or that makes them happy. And a lot of times education is a privilege for a lot of families in this country and not a right. So for me, seeing all of these things and seeing everything that is wrong with our society and our country is the reason why I joined politics. And because of my own personal values, that's the reason why I joined PDOIS, because it's the party that I see that aligns with my values as well as who I am.
Your candidate, Honorable Halifa Sallah, you met him. If you will describe him, who is he?
Halifa Sallah is a man with integrity. Halifa Sallah is a man ku am yërmande, a lot of empathy. Halifa Sallah dafa yàlla xam-xam bu mu ko may, yërmande bu mu ko may, and what he intends for Gambia is what I admire, is his courage that I admire, and is the uncorruptibleness that is in him that I admire, that I want to be like when I grow up. A lot of people don't understand this, but the reason why I joined PDOIS is because I want to be groomed and trained by someone who I can 100% say that this is a person I want to be like, and that's what I saw in Halifa Sallah.
Thank you. How would you describe women representation in the Gambia when it comes to politics?
I mean, I think women's representation, one of the reasons why I'm involved in politics is because of that. We think the only good that women can do is to cook for us, clap for us, wear our ashobis, and standing behind us and just cheering. That's what we've turned women into when it comes to politics in the Gambia. And that has to change. And the only way that is going to change is for women to demand a seat at the table, for women to demand positions that traditionally are not allocated to us, and realize that we equally own this country. Men in this country don't have any superiority over us when it comes to matters that are deciding our fate as well as our future.
Okay, one time I heard just like women, we've been, just like you said, cooking, dancing, and following people. We don't have a say. We don't have that voice on that decision-making table. Do you really think Gambia is ready for female leadership?
I mean, when you look at the registered voters, right, 55% of people that are registered to vote are women. And unless we are our own enemies, we should be ready for female leadership in this country, because we are the ones that create the presidents. We are the ones that vote for them. We are the ones that can vote them out. And if we keep voting men in, there's no reason why we can't do ourselves a favor and vote a woman in as president of this country. The reason being, it doesn't matter what political party they are from. But I think it's time that Gambians stop seeing women as only deputies or vice presidents and know that they should have equal representation in every aspect of this country's matter.
The reason why I ask this, because women are so limited by our own culture. One time I was having a conversation with a young man, and I asked him that question: do you think Gambia will ever have a female president? He swore to himself. He said, I will never vote for a female president because that will be even against my fate. So those are some
Yes,
of...
I mean...
Yes. Go ahead.
I think my own, my dad, when, God bless him, when I went to tell my dad that I joined PDOIS, right? When I went and had a conversation with him, one of the things that my dad told me was that, the people that would fight me the most would probably be my own people, which is Soninke people. And reason being is that they don't think a woman should lead. And this is a mentality that, is across the country. Women are our mothers. We give birth to the sons that eventually become president, and we raise them with the ñun de jox sen jikko, ñun ñoo leen de xamal lu bari si affaire yi àdduna. Su dee ñun ñooy nekk kilifa góor yi, ñun ñoo leen jur indi leen si àdduna bi, ñun suñ toogee waat ne jigéen warul ñoo jiite, xanga loolu noonu mu ngi mel ni cëraluñ suñ yaay yu ñu jur sax. So moo taxit, I think these are misconceptions about women, because then we're indirectly telling women that they are not good enough for anything in this country. If we believe that women shouldn't have leadership roles, if we believe that regardless of what is in their head or how capable they are, if there was a woman in the Gambia that is more capable than any of the men that are running for president, and we still tell that woman, because you are a woman, we would never allow you to lead in our country because we would be going against our faith. Where in our faith did it tell us that women are not allowed to lead? The reason why we know most of the sayings of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is because of Aisha. If Aisha radiallahu anhu didn't record a lot of the hadiths that we are quoting today, a lot of the hadiths that we are going by today, a lot of what we know about Islam, a lot of what we know about our deen, we would never know it. So because of that, Aisha radiallahu anhu was a leader in her own right. She kept the memory of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our hearts and in our minds, and that is something that we should always be grateful for. And that is always, without women, there's a lot that would go lost in history. Maybe women have always been behind the scene and we don't celebrate them enough. A lot of the contribution that they make in history as well as in society is not known a lot of times, but it doesn't take away from the fact that women contribute significantly, whether we know it or we don't know it.
That's if you speak, what message do you have for these people, Gambians watching us right now, about a girl child that we should give a chance to lead?
I mean, I think for people that are watching us, Vinta, can you say that the line disconnected?
No, you are still here. You are still here.
Okay, can you repeat your last question, please?
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, I'm saying that people are watching us right now. What message do you have for them about a girl child that we want to embrace to lead?
I mean, my daughter, I remember, because my daughter was in the campaign field with me, right? Mm-hmm. And then Honorable Salah asked her, Khadija, what do you want to be when you grow up? And Khadija just rightfully said that she wants to be president. And, you know, that didn't come from me. Mm-hmm. But the fact that, you know, she wants to be that, she has every right to aspire to want to be president when she grows up. And for people that are watching us, I think all of us, the same way we're treating our sons, we should learn to treat our daughters. And education for the girl child should be a right in this country. Because when you go to rural Gambia, one of the things that you see is that a lot of time the reason why girls don't complete their education is, let's say if a village doesn't have a high school, let's say if a village doesn't have middle school, parents are not comfortable allowing their daughters to travel to the next village because they are worried about her safety. And a lot of these things, we don't consider them and we don't think about them. The reason why parents are worried about what could happen to their daughters, right? And all of this, I think we need to help communities. That is why with a PDOIS government, we are saying we want better schools. We are saying we want better hospitals. We are saying we want a Gambia that would work for everyone and not just some people. So I think these are all things that we should keep in mind.
Yes, thank you. PDOIS have been in existence for years. And most Gambians, they agree with their policies, but they never voted them in. With this transformative agenda, what do you think will be the chances for DOI December 4th? Let's just say on Saturday.
I mean, Binta, I wouldn't lie to you if I sit here and tell you that I am not worried about the direction the Gambia is taking. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't lie to you if I tell you that I'm not concerned for this country. Mm-hmm. Reason being is the rhetoric that I'm hearing across the Gambia, where everyone tells you, oh, Halifa Sallah is good. Halifa Sallah has the best interest of Gambia. He's the best person that can lead us, that can take us out of all the problems that we have as a nation, but I will not vote for him because voting for him means that I'm wasting my vote. This is the problem. This shows everything that is wrong with the Gambia. We know what's good for us. We know what is needed, but we still want to put ourselves in hellfire. It's like, like Allah shows you the direction of heaven and tells you, this is everything that you need to do. Mm-hmm. And then you also see something else that will take you to hell. And then you're like, you know what? I would rather take the path to hell because I know that getting to heaven is not easy. That is the mentality of the Gambian. And I think that is what needs to change. What Gambia needs more than anything else is a social norms change, wherein when we are voting based on the issues that are affecting our lives. We are voting for what someone says they are going to do when they're elected. We are reading their manifesto. We are simplifying the messages in their manifesto, making sure that Gambians understand what is at stake. But if we're saying that we are simply voting for someone because of the crowds that we see, or because of they are buying our votes, they have more money, they can cook way more food, or they can attract bigger crowds and pay for a lot of transportations to bring people in, then you see everything that is wrong with this country. And I think it is very important for Gambians to do themselves a favor. I'm not asking people to vote for Honorable Halifa Sallah, but I am begging and pleading with people for us to do what is right for us to choose truth over lies, for us to choose reality over some fiction that someone is trying to paint in our head. Because 5 years is a long time. 5 years is not 5 minutes. 5 years is not 5 seconds, and it's not 5 months. It is 5 good years that we are entrusted into someone. And we need to make sure this is different from 2016. In 2016, our aim was to change a regime. Now that we have changed a regime, we see what that means. We can look at what has changed in the Gambia. Do we have better water systems? Do we have better electricity? Do we have better healthcare? Do we have better schools? Are children sitting on desks, or are things going back? And if the answer is that things are going back in the Gambia, then maybe we need to look at voting in a government that has the ability, that has the technical know-how and the expertise to bring that desired change that Gambia needs so bad.
If you have to change something to convince those people saying, well, we believe in him and all that, but we cannot vote for him, what would you change to convince those people?
I mean, if I had to change something, right? Like, for instance, I think a lot of the people that might be watching, and I'm sorry that I'm speaking English and not the local. I'm a Sarahule and I speak fluent Soninke more than all the other languages. And I know that my host probably doesn't speak Sarahule, so I would probably just speak in Wolof so that people in the local. But if there was something that I had to change,
Speak Wolof. Speak whatever you can.
Yes, pour Gambian si ubi sen hol ak sen hel pour understand ne election bii nii waruñoo votal nit koo xamante ne dañ foog ne kooku mooy gañe o kooku moo ñu ëppale mbooloo nañ xalaat ne politique du affaire yu mbooka su dee leneen la man Baro for instance Baro suma papaam la ko dee ooyee Baro has a very very good relationship with my own family, and man ma Baro, there's nothing between us. If anything, I would say that he is a brother and family to me. So Buma decided that I'ma join politics. It was very easy pour madam si Baro ne ko hanga dama bëgg ñëw pour liggéey ak yow pour join, waaye dama xam ne loolu su ma ko defee nekkuma di def loo xamante ne déggu na si man. How man that understand me?
Yes.
Du lu ma support Halifa Sallah ak PDOIS dafa mean ne dama am anything against Adama Barrow or any of the political parties, but lu mean ne mooy ne man suma xol fu mu nekk ak li ma xam ne mooy suma digga te ma xam ne suma tëddee guddi dinaa si nelaw. Loolu mooy ne dama xam ne Halifa Sallah ak PDOIS ñoo mun a yóbbu Gambia kanam te li ma ñaan nit yi especially ñu ñoo seetaan mooy ne election bii nii su ñoo vote nañ votal koo xamante ne ñoom seen boppa gom nañ ne kooku moo eenee Gambia te kooku mun a yóbbu Gambia kanam. Man loolu rek laa nekk di ñaan Gambian si.
Wow, thank you. I saw you at the debate. I'm just gonna take you to the debate. I saw you at the debate, girl. You were like, I say, okay. First of all, before I even ask my question, why were you doing that? I said that one is
good. So the debate be then so you know, like I think there's one thing about me. I grew up in Atlanta, right? I've been living in Atlanta since I was 17 years old. Okay. And you know how, like, you know, we are like black people that are from Atlanta, you know how extra we are. So a lot of times I'm just standing there like mangi buga yuhu, mangi buga tachu, dine munuma tachu. So luma punrek moy ne puniti understand like what Uncle Halifa was saying, how it meant. So you also know ne come poetry. So they may say that poetry mostly in the US. We don't clap. We do this instead when something is said that we agree with. So I think come danga gis ne still mangi am suma I would say suma Atlanta-ness boobu noonu génnul si man
your southern behavior, you were like, okay girl, okay, let's move on. Thank you so much.
Exactly.
I did not miss that part, so you believe I was watching. Yes, what was your view about that debate?
Bintu, I think the internet just went away again. Okay, can you say that?
Yes, I say, what was your overall view about that debate?
I mean, I think my overall view about the debate is, personally, with both Mr. Salah and SR, I think it was very wrong for SR to come in there with the Soviet Union, communism, all of that, because personally, what I think is, an approach like that is very dangerous. And I've expressed this, openly. I feel that Jawara tried to paint PDOIS and Halifa Saleh in a way that was very effective. Even when you go to rural Gambia, one of the things Lord Edeka Moyunela soon elected to sa moto du sa moto sa jabar sa nekato sa jabar. And lolu mo ray Gambia, lolu mo ray PDOIS si rural community si Gambia, because am na ñoo xamantene kilifa yoo xamantene pa yoo xamantene ba tey wax boobu noonu leen gom te su ñëwee si ñun mi nga xamante ne Gambian dañ te ñun ñoo jànga xam nañ dëgg bi te xam nañ loo xamante ne tamit nekkul dëgg bi man ak li ma mun a nekk against nit policy am right du ma dem toog si télé ma dem toog si debate di paint nit noo xamante ne melul noonu xam nga xaw ma ndax man kiyaaw ba ndax politique bi pare lu ma gën a bañ mooy ñu dee toog di wax ne politique la xam nga nii nga war a like soo waxee dara even su nekkutee dëgg man gowuma loolu dama gëm ne doomi aadama sooy dee sa waxal sa dëgg. How man understand? Socialism and communism duñ benn. Socialism nekkut loo xamante ne dafa bon pour Gambian yi te koo xamante ne jàng nga am nga xam-xam bi dama feel ne yow you should have known better than taking that train. I feel like the debate could have, in both sides, for instance, I feel like the debate could have been, more peaceful, where we focus more on ideas rather than individually attacking any person. How man understand? So personally, like one debate we num deme in a way. I think Uncle Khalifa did really, really well. I think he was able to put his agendas across. I think the whole socialism, not socialism, for instance, the whole Soviet Union, communism, I feel like no one should have taken it there, because we cannot have communism in the Gambia because of the constitution that we have and the checks and balances that we have in place. We can never practice communism in the Gambia.
So when they were talking about their policies, I want to pick just one part of it, which is their health system, the policy on their health system. By comparison, by comparing them, which system, which policy do you think will definitely fit the Gambia? If not, what adjustment will we need? I know probably you will say the DOIS system, but if there will be any adjustment, what part of it do we need to on that?
I mean, I think one of the conversations when it comes to healthcare that happened during debate bi moy bo Uncle Khalifa waxee ne dina make sure ne am nañ healthcare, even these local healthcares in every village, right? And then SFL said that that's not attainable. I personally disagree with Lulu, because lutax moy ne even today mobile, come here for instance, yaa ngi America right now, gis nga ne xaw ma ndax Atlanta loolu moo fa am, but recently bu ma nekkee woon New York with vaccination bi dangaa gis ne gars dañ am buses yoo xamante ne ñoo nekk di wóor everywhere di vaccinate nit yi, right? So in a country like the Gambia, su dee mënuñoo am hospital in every single village, right, mun nañoo commencé di xalaat innovatively about mobile clinics, for instance, or local small clinics, because dangaa gis ne problème buñ am Gambia mooy soo waree jël nit si benn village pour nga yóbbu ko bee biam o health center bu mag balaa nga fa àgga kooku mun naa gaañu, xaw ma na understand ne a lot of these things are preventable. Ba pare every single day soo nekkee Gambian nga gis jigéen yoo xamante ne dem nañ pour jur seen doom yi ñu ne la deret dafa manqué, ñu ne la naka la tuddaat sax lii amul ba nga xamante ne dañoo ñëw on social media di laaj nit yi kan moo am façon deret bii nii urgently nga dem lopitaan xëy na sa balaa ngaa àggal lopitaan dina fekk kooku gaañu na suñ amoon blood bank boo xamante ne ñu ngi store blood different types of blood yoo xamante ne in all the health centers in the Gambia, right? dangaa gis ne all of these are policy issues and our Ministry of Health dafa war a gën a góorgóorlu comme dangaa gis ne yéen dangaa dem ñun suñ docteurs yi Gambia sometimes man dama di feel ne ñoom ñoo gën a am xam-xam because doctors yi luñ dee improvise luñ ñaaka ak lu amul su lopitaan yi dafa bari te saa yu nekk dangaa gis ne ñoom dañoo think creatively to come up with solutions when it shouldn't be like that. In every civilized society dafa am certain things yoo xamante ne loolu sa waruta nekk question comme ndox for instance, right? Gambia ñun waruñoo nekk dëkk boo xamante ne am na ñoo xamante ne amuñ access to ndox
clean water
bu ñoo naan bu ñoo toogee xaw ma na understand ne, right? And then the fact ne Gambia fii nii courant sa problème la jigéen ñu nekk si naako yi ak seen vegetables yi suñ ko yóbboo marché si élection nga gis ne yëpp jarul pour fuñ ko mun a store su ko defee bagage yooyu noonu duñ yaaxu loolu problème la dangaa gis ne jigéen yooyu seen jaay yaa ngi yaaxu seen loxo ñu ngi ñàkk lu bari coono bu nekk seen kaw ak métit bu nekk seen kaw so lu bari moo war a change Gambia te personally dangaa gis ne su ñëwee si comme PDOIS agenda bi ak as a country comme man nekkuma in politics just for the sake of being in politics, right? Personally, bu manifesto Uncle Halifa bi génnee ma read ko ma am certain things yoo xamante ne su doon man maa nekk in charge of government loolu duma ko doon def suma manifesto or duma doon do things that way. Dem naa ma tooga moom ma wax ko ma ne ko Uncle Halifa mu ne ma naam ma ne ko personally man de lii ak lii dama disagree with it te suma sañoon nii ak nii lañ koo defee te lim ma wax mooy ne that's where the debate comes in and I think that is what's healthy and that is loolu lañ soxla si Gambian politics because ñun waruñoo toppa si gannaaw nit rek def ko yàlla ba nga xamante ne borom mënut a juum loolu suñ ko defee suñ boppa lañ nekk di gasal pax so moo tax dafa very important ñun mi nekk si different parties yi suñ leaders yi ak seen policies yi yéena ñu xool ko ñu scrutinize ko ñu wax leen lan lañ foog because loolu rek mooy mun a tax dëkk bi aaga fu mu war a aaga.
Yes, let me apologize to folks here. I cannot speak Wolof the way I would like to ask these questions, so please I cannot speak Wolof. I will understand everything Madam will say, but I cannot ask the question the way I would like the question to come out. So forgive me on that. I don't want to be saying living. So I just don't want to say that. I want to avoid all that. Please, I'm sorry. So thank you all very much. Share this discussion, please. She is here. That is our special lady, PDOIS. When she surrendered to politics, I was like, what were you thinking? But anyway, she's here. We are lucky to have her. Mrs. Manneh, during that debate,
yes,
some people were saying, well, the same policy that Honorable Halifa Sallah is talking about when it comes to health, it was the same system that President Jawara was using. That's an old system. We need to adjust maybe to what SFL is saying, national health insurance. But I am in the States. When we clock in, clock out, and they took that little money out of our check with that health insurance, we don't come home with anything. So when I heard that, I said, well, where is he going to get this kind of money? What are we going to do when it comes to the health insurance? Sound just perfect, but how do we feed that?
No, I mean, I think sometimes what people, that's why I said, a lot of times when we talk about things and we don't understand how these things are paid for, or when you talk about a capitalism or a economy that is based on things that you don't know the repercussions of it, because when you think about the loans and the grants and everything that we're doing, right, that is not sustainable for Africa. And then, like you said, in the US, you look at FICA on your paycheck, like the FICA insurance, right? You look at how much of your money is going into FICA. And if you're not going to be someone who wants to spend the rest of your life in the US and you want to come back. That's basically money that you're wasting. Maybe, yes, you would still get it in another way. But right now, for people that are making maybe more than $150,000 a year, 40% of everything that we earn is going into taxes in the US. And then we still have to pay for our health insurance. The people that are not paying for health insurance in the Gambia and the people in the US, for instance, or the people that are on food stamps, these are people that are not making enough money. So if a poor country like the Gambia, where in the average wages in this country is around $5,000 or even maybe less, right? How can you tell people that you're going to cut that amount even more so that they can have access to free healthcare? When the people that are talking about that, a lot of them don't a lot of those people that are talking about those kinds of things, right? When they're sick, they go to private hospitals. They don't even know what it looks like to go to any of our local lopitani ñu bari ñoo xamantene ñoo nekk di wax système si ni musu ñoo tek tanka Serekunda hospital musu ñoo tek tanka Sukuta health center pour ñu mëna xam métit bu nekk ci kaw ñoti pour ñu mëna understand realistically naka la ñoo génné ñiti ci coono bobu non nga Gambia lan lañ soxla den soxla pour ñu rénover suñ hospital si pour ñu nekk place yo xamantene nit so fa démé sa mën nga fa noki dañ need système bo xamantene dañoo gëna fay docteur si sen fay dañ need système bo xamantene docteur si sen moral dafa yokku pour liggéey bu gaay nekk di sacrifice pour défaral nit yi ñu mën ko def ak xol bu séda ba paré ñu mën sé am dunda bo xamantene ñomi dinañ mëna dundal sen family si lolu waye naka nga mëna expecter right docteur si ñu nekk ci hospital bo xamantene even equipments you guys soxla pour mëna faj patients yi mënu ñoo am equipments yoy non té ñun citizens yi suñ démé lijante ñu utal Gambian government di equipments yi ñu jox leen ko gaay instead of ñu use equipment yoy non pour suñ nit yu febaré ñu dal di turn around di dem jaay bagage yoy how man understand so ñun luñ wara try pour def moy put in policies yoo xamantene dina metti pour nit sàcca aleli mbooloo dem di ko jaay pour nit sàcca loo xamantene moo war a go into fixing the hospital dafa ne ñuy jël contract yooyu noonu di ko jox suñ mbokk yi gaay def liggéey boo xamantene setut liggéey boo xamantene mutut ba pare doomi Gambia ak réew bi di continuer di suffer as a result of that. So man tey ji su ma nekkoon president, those are the things that I would look at changing.
The system we have here in the hospital, you cannot get any medication out without logging in your ID to unlock. So if you come in and you take any medication under your name, it's under you. If I stole your information and I went right behind you with your information, that's your responsibility. So medicine get lost. I mean, a patient will die in the hospital, just like what happened in Brikama. The lady passed because the generator happened to be faulty.
Exactly.
Who checks that? Who is?
And that is the problem. Those are the issues that we are not talking about. I mean, Binta, you know Walgreens on Cascade Road, right?
Right.
That was my first job as a pharmacy technician when I moved to Atlanta. The first job that I ever held was as a pharmacy technician. And like you said, there are systems in place that ensures that no medication goes lost and that we are tracking everything. And when you come in the morning, you do your own inventory. And before you leave, the inventory is checked to ensure that things are put in place, right? But as a country, if we are saying we don't even have inventories, you look at the recent gun petroleum scandal that happened, where in the whole country nearly paralyzed because of where we deposited our fuel, right? There was none there, and then money has been going missing. But you need to realize something. This is not something that happened just that week. This was something that kept happening, that no one was checking. No one was making sure of it. That's the only way something like this can go unnoticed. It's the same thing that is happening with our hospitals. It's the same thing that is happening in our schools. It's the same thing that is happening in all of our public sectors. And us as Gambians, if we are not concerned about these things, if we are not concerned about the way our country is going, that is why personally, system change, when you hear that, look deeper and analyze what it means. It means that all of our systems in this country need to be changed with systems that are better, systems that are more effective, systems that are more productive.
Exactly. So let's go to education, because those are two things that I will not let you go without discussing them. Before I came to this country, it's been years. So let's say 18 to 20 years ago. When I came here, my first day of, I make these people laugh about that. When I went to the university, so there's these computers when they came newly. I'm not sure they were new because I just get to America. So they have this flat screen, the monitor, but the computer itself is built behind the monitor. I'm telling you, I was sitting in class. They said, turn the computer on. I don't know how to turn it on. Because when I left Gambia, we knew what is it? Typewriter, we have the clock down there. When we go to somewhere for training for computer, you have that big old computers. So technology have changed. My children, especially
Exactly.
when COVID happened, my children went to school in this house. Technology, they were going
Exactly.
tick to tack, tick to tack, tick to tack. Gambia, what is our education level? What would you say PDI government will do? Let's say not even a PDI's government, I'm sorry to say, even is not in power. If you have to tell whoever comes to power, what would you tell them about our education, our children's education?
I think, I recently signed a partnership deal with Microsoft
Okay.
for us to bring science and technology to Gambia and for us to build the first center of its kind in the Gambia that will serve the whole region of West Africa, right? And the reason being is that, one of the things that SR said, but I said, I think the way he said it was wrong,
Mm-hmm.
was that people like me, for instance, I studied at Georgia Southwestern State University for my undergrad, and
Mm-hmm.
I have a degree in business administrations management. And
Mm-hmm.
I did my master's in public administration at the University of Central Florida, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, as a political candidate, if you sit on TV and you tell us that people like us are not needed in this country, but you talk about the importance of science and technology. Science and technology is the reason why countries like America are ahead of us. Places like China, that's the reason why they are ahead of us. We should definitely encourage more science and technology to be taught in our schools. But that doesn't take away that not everyone can be a scientist, not everyone can be someone that is an expert in technology. Like, for instance, I would take myself as a good example.
Mm-hmm.
I am not good in science
Mm-hmm.
at all. You can never get me to be a scientist. But that doesn't take away from the fact that I am smart at other things and more than capable at everything else in life. But science is not just for me. And there's a lot of people in this country, if traditional education is not for them, like we see in the US, as a government, we should set up other means that they can learn and things that they are passionate about, because not everyone is going to grow up. And another thing that we need to look at in our school system is we need to ensure that kids are in the right grade for age, and
Mm-hmm.
we need to support them in doing check-ins to make sure that our schools are equipped with the right supplies, the right technology, the right educators, to ensure that the quality of education that they are receiving is one that is fit and one where they can compete anywhere in the world. But if our teachers are not being paid enough, if we're sending teachers to all corners of the Gambia, expecting them to improvise, I think is this improvised mentality that we need to get rid of and ensure that we need to support teachers, we need to pay them more, and we need to ensure that our schools have the supplies, including the chairs and desks, so that children can go to school and learn. And one of the things that Honorable Halifa Saleh, as well as a PDOIS government, is proposing is that we would make school up to the secondary level mandatory for all Gambians, regardless of gender, regardless of what their parents have. And we would ensure that it's quality and best education that we are delivering to every single Gambian.
Mm-hmm.
Binta, one of the things that you need to keep in mind is a lot of us that are fortunate enough to come from privileged backgrounds. When I was in the Gambia, I went to school at NOS. The reason why I went to school at NOS, and throughout the time that I was here, I had a driver that would come get me every single morning, drive me to school, and then after school, I had a driver that would come get me and bring me back home. But the reason why I had all of that, as well as a study teacher that would come to my house and ensure that I am up to that level, is because my parents could afford it. But what about the parents that can't afford that for their children? What about the parents that don't have the same access that we had? And we need to be very honest with ourselves and realize that the reason why I'm able to sit in front of you and have this conversation with you with my educational background is because of my privilege. If I didn't have that privilege that I had at an early age, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things that I'm doing, and that contributed to it. Even the fact that I am not afraid to speak my mind is because I know that nothing can take away from who I am as well as what I have. So poverty is one of the biggest hindrances that is affecting everything in this country.
Yes. Yeah, we were not lucky like you were. So education was, when they buy us exercise books, we make sure we cut it in the middle so we can have two out of two out of one. I'm telling you. So that's another issue we have. So now, since you've been talking about socialism, and I'm still on that debate, Paul was saying capitalism and socialism. Honorable was saying socialism. With your work experience, your exposure, everything, which system, honestly, do you think will work well with our people?
Binta, man suma state suma life, right? Ma said ne man doomi sarahule la. Mun naa laa wax ne man nuñ ma yaree dañ ma yaree si capitalism mentality, because ñun suñ papa yi ñoo nekkoon Sierra Leone di ut diamond, suñ papa yi ñoo dem Angola di lijante affaire yi diamond, te sarahule foo ñu xamee xam nga ne ñun dañ gom si ut xaalis, dañ gom si suñ ñaxa. Ok, ma dem yaroo si dëkk boo xamante ne America, foofu la capitalism sante mbaa. But lima wax mooy ne even with seen capitalism mentality boobu noonu yëpp, right, dangaa gis ne America dañ yow yaa ngi dëkk America, yaa ngi dëkk Atlanta. Xam nga ne foofu soo juree doom week dañ la koo jox pour nga mun a jox sa doom bi meew ak lekka yooyu lekka yow sa boppa pour nga gis ne doo mun a coona. Su dee nekkuloo di liggéey nga soxla Medicaid dañ laa jox Medicaid mu loolu moo wane ne free health care pour nga mun a dem lopitaan. Su dul loolu America rek nga dee gis ne pour wasin doom sax mun nañ laa charge $20,000 to $50,000 simply because da nga choose pour am doom si dëkk bi. Di nga su dee amuloo Medicaid mbaa amuloo health insurance di nga fay up to $50,000 simply because da nga choose pour am doom. te loolu noonu government bi yombal na ko nit koo xamante ne da nga dem pour am doom automatically soo duggee si lopitaan bi duñ la teree am doom unlike Gambia foo xamante ne soo fayutee hit na di nga mujjee wasin sa doom. te soo génnee si loolu lu ñoo ooyee food stamp mooy loo xamante ne pour families ñu niw doole ñu amul xaalis dinañ la jox carte boo xamante ne lépp loo xamante ne affaire yi lekka la dangaa dugg si supermarket nga slice ko comme credit card la nga jël façon lekka bu la neex nga yóbbu ko sa kër yaa sa njaboot yi ngeen lekka si. loolu mooy socialisme. America am nañ ko, Angleterre am nañ ko, Sweden am nañ ko. foo munti xalaat textbook soo ko ubbee nga jàngal lan mooy socialisme. Socialisme mooy pour ñu dimbale ñoo xamante ne mënuñoo dimbale seen boppa. Gambia fii nii ñun amuñ dañ ñaaka. lan moo ñu tere pour ñun ñu wax ne dañ bëgg a système boo xamante ne ñëppay lekka. Capitalisme mooy ku nekk loo mun nga dem def ko, loo am nga am ko. xaw ma na understand nga séedaale amu si. te
séedaale amu
si da nga soxla njiit boo xamante ne am na yërmande te ku mun séedaale mooy mun a nekk njiit bi mun a yóbbu Gambia kanam. man naturally man ku ma xam dinañ la wax ne man maa gën a bugg a xaalis àdduna bi yëpp. man depuis bu ma amee 16 years old si laa commencé di liggéey bi tey jii musuma noppale ko suma life te suma ñaxa lay dundee waaye dama xam ne loolu taxut a yóbbu àdduna. xëy na man lu ma mun ak wërsëg bu ma yàlla jox du ñëpp la ko jox. so moo tax mu very important pour suñ government ñu liggéey pour mun a dimbale Gambia bi yëpp ak mun a génnee coono ak métit bu fi nekka. loolu mooy socialisme pour ko xamul. capitalisme nag dox fii ngir ñun amuñ xaalis sa ba di nekk capitaliste. xam nga ñan ñoo war a nekk capitaliste. capitaliste mooy dëkk boo xamante ne da nga am ba suur waaye ñun dañ amul sa ba di door di nekk capitaliste. loolu mooy dëkk bi. su dee dañ wax ne mixed système lañ soxla. loolu mun naa d'accord ak loolu. waaye pour ne socialisme warut a nekk Gambia loolu ku la ko wax rek xamal ne borom éneelu la jaama.
Okay. So loo xalaat si affaire debate bi, do you think we should as Gambians, do you think we should put debate in our electoral laws?
No, absolutely. I think it's necessary for candidates to debate. I mean, so all those about loy bañ ci debate da nga dem man suñ ma bayyi won ma debate ak Essa Fall sa moma doon gëna neex dan onko Halifa mu debate ak Essa Fall, because at the end of the day moy lima day wax all the time. So pour so bëggee jiite ay nit comme lima la wax la waru ñoo xool ne kii suma mbokk la kii suma lii la o man suma mbokkay kii la ñoo bootal issues yi lañ war a xool ak borom naka la moo mun a changer lu ñu nekk di affect loolu lañ war a seet te looloo war a tax te loolu the only way nuñ koo mun a amee just like any other civilized society mooy ñoom ñëpp ñu dem toog si kanami télé ak si kanami Gambien ñu wax ñu lan la ñoo def ñu bàyyi xaste bi ñu bàyyi saagante bi ñu bàyyi waxante lu ñaaw ñun Gambia fii nii xeet boo gis man am naa fa mbokka xeet boo gis xëy na am naa fa famille man saxulee laa waaye góor bu ma seyal soose la so which means ne man am naa famille si bépp xeet fii nii Gambia so ñu mun a taxaw debate suñ issues yi lu ñoo change si suñ réew lu ñu naxari ak luñ gis loolu mooy yóbbu réew kanam waaye du xaste bi ak waxante bi ak maa gën kii fii kenn gënul sa morom dégg naa ñu ne benn politicien mu ne moom du toppa si gannaawi kenn because moom Gambia ba mu daf kenn gënu koo barke waaye dangaa gis ne wax yooyu noonu lañ war a génnee suñ politique
suñ conversation
njiite réew amul dara pour defa yow barke oo yaa gën nit yi ku nekk Gambisara mbaa ku nekk Allum Xaare mbaa ku nekk si villages yooyu noonu kenn gënut sa morom te ñun ñëpp Gambia moo ñu tax a jóg Gambia moo ñu ñor soo gisee ñun suñu maas yi ñu bàyyi suñu liggéey bàyyi suñu soxla yëpp ñëw toog Gambia fii nii pour xelalante nit yi pour am election or even talk sa di am person conversations yi nii dangaa gis ne because suñu réew moo ñu tax a ñor man throughout election cycle bii nii amul international media boo xamante ne contact nañ ma pour interview ma because dama xam ne international community bi duñ vote su ma toogee fii nii di every week di def interview pour CNN pour BBC pour keneen ak keneen ak keneen right loolu du ñooñu ñooy vote benn interview laa joxe si international media bi mooy The Guardian waaye aside from loolu everyone else right ñuñ war a waxalal mooy suñ nit yi ñoo xamante ne nañu dégg man yàlla dafa def dégguma soose bu baax xam nga mun naa jaxas fii ak fii ak fii te maa ngi try pour ma dégga te suma olof bi tamit even though dama ko dee forcé waaye du loo xamante ne dégga naa ko bu baax man doomi saraxule laa suma saraxule moo gën a set tey jii soo leen ma waxoon pour ma laaka saraxule obviously mun naa wax everything lu ma bugg a wax accurately so moo tax comme yéenay soo gisee ma dee change suma wax di go back and forth between English is because suma olof des na set comme ni ma ko buggee if that makes sense.
No, you're doing well compared to me, so we cannot even compare here, okay? Yeah, we cannot compare here. There's this message that Honorable Halifa Sallah did, and it was very emotional. Before I will ask the question, let me play this. Let everybody hear, please.
This is my last attempt. I am going to be leaving you here. I have done my part.
Hold on. Yeah, give me a second. Let me play this.
This is my last attempt.
Can you hear?
I am going to be leaving you here. I have done my part. At the age of 16 and a half, I made a commitment that all my life I will live to eradicate the poverty of my people, not only the Gambian people, but the whole African people. The question is, what are we going to do in 2021? That's why we talk about system change. Go to your villages. No electricity, no water supply, women with callous hands, producing vegetables and cannot find markets for them. They live in poverty, grow in poverty, age in poverty, and die in poverty. That is what we wish to end. How? By using your wealth. 23 billion is your budget this coming year. The ocean is here. Others are exploiting it. You have a navy which could have been transformed into a productive force to have fishing trawlers, to feed your population, to export, and more. Put it in sovereign national power. invested in these young people from GTTI so that they'll be able to have milling machine. They'll be able to have seed money to organize workshops or any form of business they think would be needed by the population. That's what we are talking about.
Yes, very emotional. So many people confess that very emotional. Yes. And he said this is it. This is it for him contested. What do you think Doi and Gambia's politics be like without Honorable Ali Halifa Saleh?
I mean, I think what Honorable Halifa Saleh has said is he has given 35 years or more than that of himself to this country. And in this upcoming elections, if Gambians decide to vote him in, he will serve one term and become our president and then become a statesman. And if Gambians don't decide to vote for him, he will never contest in another election. And I think that's who Honorable Halifa Saleh is. That's what he represents for this country, and that's what he represents for all of us that believe in him. I think for a man like him that has been in politics for more than 30 years, and you can't mënuloo wax dara lu ñaaw si moom, mënuloo wax dara lu bon si moom, loolu wone na Halifa Saleh ban façon nit la, cadre nit bu mu doon, loolu won nañu ko. Léegi lu des nag ñun suñ loxo la nekka, ñun ndax Gambian si dinañ delloo Halifa Saleh njukalam. Man mënuma fee toog pour wax nit yi ne by force da ngeen war a votal Halifa Saleh. waaye li ma mun a wax nit yi ak lu ma mun a seede si Halifa Saleh mooy lu ñëpp seede si moom, mooy déggoom, mooy lack of corruption bu nekk si moom, ak everything lu Halifa Saleh represent. su dee ñun gis nañ ne Halifa Saleh mun nañ koo jox chance boobu noonu pour mu nekk suñ next president, nañ xam ne defaluñ ko Halifa Saleh, suñ boppa lañ ko defal. te suñ ko defarutee Halifa Saleh tamit, suñ ko votalutee tamit, nañ xam ne ba tey suñ boppa lañ ko def. lu soosey dee wax, suma jëkkat moo ma dee wax lii all the time, imaake mooyee, imaake moo la, iyaake
famol la.
So at the end of the day, I think lii Gambia nañ xam leena ne election bi maake mooyee, maake moo la. Halifa Saleh suñ ko votalee suñ boppa lañ ko defaral, suñ ko votalutee tamit suñ boppa lañ ko defal. dimbale wuñ kenn, defarluñ kenn, suñ boppa lañ nekk di defaral. So moo taxit rek, waaye nañ xam ne man duguma into politics blindly. li tax ma duga into politics ak lu tax ma taxaw ne dama support Halifa Saleh, ne dama campaignal Halifa Saleh, because dama xam ne defaluma ko pour suma family members yi, defaluma ko pour keneen ak keneen ak keneen. suma boppa laa ko nekk di defaral, suma réew laa ko nekk di defaral. ak coono bu ma gis si biir Gambia, man tukki naa all of Gambia ak Honorable Halifa Saleh, gis naa métit bu nekk si kaw family si, gis naa coono bu fa nekk. am na family yu bari suñ añee duñu reer, te ñun dañ am responsibility pour jàppale wante, pour make sure ne daaxa nañ fi coono, daaxa nañ fi poverty. So ñun looloo ñu tax a jóg, looloo tax PDOIS ñu leen a ñaan pour seen carte.
Well, so lu ma laa laaj mooy moom su steppee down, because Gambia political parties yi, they have almost one face. Doi, Halifa la ak Sidia. So, and this is his last chance, as he just said. He just told us that this is it. Do you think Doi will have a candidate that can fill that big shoe that he will step out?
I mean, I think, Doi has a lot of vibrant young people, including myself, that can carry that baton if Honorable Halifa Saleh is not there. We are well educated and well equipped, and we have the capacity to lead any political party in the Gambia. So without Halifa Saleh or Honorable Sidia Jatta, I think our party can survive, especially with people like us. And what Gambians need to understand is we may not always agree 100%. Like, for instance, if I was to be the flag bearer of Doi, there are certain things that are in Halifa's manifesto that will not be in my manifesto. Like, for instance, drilling, I feel like as a global community, we need to move away from anything that would harm our environment, and actually doing things that would promote healthy, and then looking at agriculture, for instance. Like, my stance on agriculture is the fact that we need regenerative agricultural practices, for instance. And I think a lot of times, I don't think people necessarily understand that just because I am in DOI doesn't mean that I agree with everything 100% of the time. And I think that's why I love this political party. Because Honorable Halifa Sallah, as well as Sia Jata, they like the fact that people like me are objective. They like the fact that we are individuals with our own ideas. And when we don't see something that we agree with, we voice it. And they promote that. A lot of people don't know that. So these are all things that people should keep in mind. Yes, if Halifa steps away, there are people like me who are ready to fill his shoes and continue his legacy.
Are you telling me we can look on with one eye open? Somebody come in 2026?
Absolutely. I mean, 2026, definitely.
Yeah,
Gambia, for ma wax len ne 2026. Xale yu góor yu bëgg a taxaw election yëpp na ngeen xam ne yéen a mën ay dem election.
Yeah.
2026 di ngeen fa gis ay jigéen te ragaluñ noppee wuñ kon nañ ñëpp xam ne 2026 ñun suñ tur dina nekk si ballot boxes yi.
I'm going to clap on this one. Yes, woman power. And men are afraid of this debate issue. We have to force, you have to come back here. We have to advocate about a few things on the electoral laws. We will be excited to have you on those advocacy.
Absolutely. Right after the elections. Yes. Then we talk about what's next. And,
what's next?
You know, Binta, I'm really grateful for this opportunity and the time that I've spent with you. Yeah. I think what you're doing is phenomenal. And I think the audience that you have, you know, having these healthy conversations and people sharing their opinion. Gambia, we should promote this. You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with me. You don't have to even like my politics. But you need more of us. We all can't speak in one voice.
Right.
We need, you know, these different views in order for us to promote our own democracy, as well as how our country can move forward. And I am so grateful that you invited me on your platform, and I'm so proud of everything you are, as well as everything that you're doing. So thank you.
I am just so grateful to have you. So we'll be closing one eye open. So you're gonna debate each and every one of them. They are afraid of debates. So we moving on.
Man mom.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Man mom, come 2026. Dina taxaw election. Te dina debate any political party. Bo xamantene pare na pour debate ak man. So all of you, this time is Halifa Sallah. But 2026, na ngeen xam ne Jaha Dukureh ak ñeneen jigéen. So what you think? So 2026, all political parties will have all women on their ballots.
We wish we will do that. Before we move on, let me tell Binto Media community that we have our special guest here. We are just having girl time. We are not rushing. We are taking all the time. That nation is ours. We the women. Gambia is our own. Yes. I have Mrs. Jaha Dukureh Manneh here. We are taking all the time. You can hear that conversation. We having detailed discussion about politics, about the women, about our children, about our serious national issues. That's what we discuss here. Nothing else. We don't do personal, and respect is our motto here. So thank you all. Mrs. Manneh, I will not like to move on if I do not talk about IEC just a little bit. I have some questions here, but IEC, Gambians are concerned. They are seriously concerned about this IEC because I'll lay a few things out for you. They had a mistake 2016 in their tallying, the presidential election. They went to, I think URR, on the chairman election, they had a mistake where UDP, I stand to be corrected which place exactly, where UDP win, but they give it to GDC. They had a mistake. This registration that just happened, they give the mayoress, Banjul, the powers to give an attestation. That was a mistake. It went to court. Now they disqualified some political parties. They went to court, they win the case. I don't know how that will go forward. Are you in any way concerned as concerned Gambians are right now?
I am very concerned because being on the ground, one of the things that you notice is if the High Court, CA went to the High Court and they won their case, right? The IEC should allow them to contest. It's not up to them. And I think one of the problems that you have with the IEC is that they don't have the capacity. For CA to contest in the December 4th elections, it means that they have to go and replicate all of the ballots as well as the marbles that are needed for CA to contest. And the IEC doesn't have the capacity to do that right now. So based on my understanding, I am sure they will do everything in their power to keep CA from contesting. I don't think it's a personal vendetta against CA. I just think that, to be quite honest, the IEC doesn't have the capacity. But I think that is not CA's problem. That is the IEC's problem, and they should try and find a solution for that. At the end of the day, it is very concerning that all of these mistakes and mishaps continue to happen. Like, the average person cannot trust our electoral process and to know that democratically what the Gambian people want and desire is what we would have come December 5th. So yes, I am very, very concerned. I am very, very worried. And another thing is, when you look at the independent election observers or polling agents, right? Previous years, IEC has been able to provide lunch and even like a small allowance so that they can feed themselves. But this year, they are saying that is not available. They are saying, you know, there's a lot of things that are wrong about this upcoming election that every single sane Gambian should be concerned about. And now that you have brought on that topic, there's more than 1,000 polling stations across the Gambia. Us at PDOIS, we're looking for diehard supporters that would serve as PDOIS polling agents across the country. So if you want to serve as a polling agent, please contact us. You can contact KEX, or you can go to our bureau or contact any of our regional representatives and become an election observer, someone that can report. Because if the government is not helping, if the IEC, the Independent Election Commission, is not doing its job, then it's up to us citizens to ensure that the election is accurate as well as the counting. Because one of the advantages in Gambia is we have the marble system, and they count every single station right on the spot. So it's not like they do it in hiding. Wherever people vote, that is where we are supposed to count the votes.
Yes. We will. I will open the right line right now. The number is just below on your screen right there. +1 678 390 0539. 678 +1 678 390 0539. We have her here. You can call. Call me on WhatsApp. Do not call the direct line. She will answer some of your questions, statement, whatever it is. You can come out. That's a serious. That's really serious. Some people can even step off from their duty, try to go find food. You know the brothers and food. You know the brothers and food. So I do not understand what they will do. But if you have any message, there are a little bit allegation that came out about CA. Dr. Cisse sent these allegations. I don't want to, I'm not saying comment on it directly, but what he said about Sambujan Jai being affiliated with a political party. Are you in any way concerned about that?
Well, I don't think a single individual should have that much power on an independent electoral commission for the whole country, right? So personally, if the claims are right, then we have a bigger problem in this country, to be quite honest. Then our problem is bigger than what we actually thought. If what Citizens Alliance is claiming is what is happening at the IEC, then the problems are bigger than what I thought.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to answer a few more calls because we want to use this opportunity, really. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Reduce your background, please. So I'm gonna
Safion Drame.
Drame, you can speak any language. I will translate.
Be konton na bake be na sister konton na Jaha Dukureh Manneh Safion Drame Italy ay lonne ba vola ko ndella tumanna mbatel nominate la as our presidential candidate 2026. Komemba asola wala we will nominate her if she wanted. We will nominate her 2026 tumanna. So nga slogan kutole fana launch saying kafo ko yes doi can win. So nyim perception o mengalon ko Molba Sakulet Kantaring ha Doi has the best policy, Doi has the best leader, Doi has the best integrity man, but they cannot win. This perception, this is a psychological war against Doi. And we launched that we launch it now to stop it. Everyone have to stop it. Yes, they can win. Anywhere you are, if you are listening to me now, say it in your house, in your workshops. Yes, they can win. And then move and call your people to say if they vote for Doi, Doi will win so that this country will change. I thank you very much and I'm happy for you and for your team. You are doing wonders. After 2021 election, the next day on Monday, Sunday and Monday, we will launch a WhatsApp group, Jaha for 2026.
Wow.
So everybody is welcome to join that WhatsApp group so that we will promote from Tumanna to everywhere. We has Tumanna, we want to lead that to launch that and campaign for Jaha 2026, and Adam Barrow will now start to seek, and if we hope Khalifa Sallah will be there to guide her so that 2026 she will be prepared to win the election. After these 5 years that Khalifa Sallah will put all the foundations, it will just be a plane for her to take off. Thank you very much.
Hold on. Don't go yet. Don't go yet. We will always try to reach out to her. She's a very busy woman. But we will be here time to time. We will reach out to her and we will talk about serious issues, national issues, the party, and the plans for 2026. It's even closer than you can think. Thank you, brother, for calling. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I want to just thank the brother for the call. I know him very well. He's my comrade. And I think, what he said is important for new helalante moine. Khalifa Sallah munna win election bi. Suko Gambia ni sani le karta. Gambia ni ñun ñoo amé baat bi ñun ñoo amé doole bi te suñ baat mooy suñ karta suñ doole mooy suñ karta suñ décidé ne December 4 Khalifa Sallah la ñu sané suñ karta loolu moo ko dooleel te loolu mooy tax mu dem State House ku nekk sa karta even one vote mun naa change direction of election bi ni Gambia luñ war a understand mooy ne ñun fii nii amuñ second rounds of voting benn round lañ am ku am moo rek borom mooy win election bi so yen undecided voters you talk seen kër yi yen undecided voters yoo xamante ne xamul leen fan ngeen di saaneel te yen mi am ene bi pour saaneel Khalifa Sallah bi pare xam Khalifa Sallah njëriñ bu mu am Gambia yen leen nekka di waxal yen leen nekka di ñaan mooy ne bu leen xeeb seen doole bu leen xeeb seen baat bu leen xeeb lu gën a tax ngeen nekka Gambian mooy election ak mun a taana kan ngeen di jiite because xam leen ne koo leen saaneel karta mu ngi mel ni dénka nga ko yow sa baat dénka nga ko sa doole for 5 years te tant que 5 years boobu noonu jeexul lu munti def loolu mënuloo see génne dara xam nga moo tax Uncle Halifa always mu ñu dee wax ne suñ saanee karta saani maa tey dinañ am njiiti maa tey dinañ am nguuri maa tey te Gambia dañ war a dimbale suñ boppa bañ a am nguuri maa tey comme December 5th nañ saanil Khalifa Sallah xam ne defaluñ ko kenn suñ boppa lañ ko defar
defal jërëjëf I have another caller here. Hello caller.
Wow, Bintu.
Assalamu alaikum. Todi madu.
Bubalem.
Bubay bir mintin nang nga madam Jahale Sotoja. Please.
Famo keta.
Ibir maintenance, bismillah.
Sign me program in follow kan, even though malong the subject of discussion, but ngalon ne doila program on anene buka kunta ya. Ni election binto Gambian or imete kalong ko the right candidate is Halifa Sallah. But miya na Gambia buka Halifa Sallah vote for ala damale olong. Adu wale kantin na banko in prior tama is going to be a very, very difficult. Because miya jibe hani mo nginenka tonya sign yang ni mulka ko dunia female bar miya tra sign ye alquran wala bible di mola ya fay ko sign tonya for Gambia candidate the 6 candidates who is competent for Gambia samba at the right path ni man tonya be dun laj de ma kono Halifa Sallah will 100% vote. But people are voting based on reasons ni along ko bintu hanni mo yo foi balona ko tanga Gambia man tanginul sondo moto. And come Halifa Nyamen, this is going to be his last attempt. And the Gambia mi along ko will ba lose la, not Halifa. Adum mol mi along ko they are not considering doy. Wo mol le sila sama ya for ni Halifa kita mansati. Tundung Gambia be kala no nyado. And you all know you don't vote for the right person. That is the problem. So as long as you are not voting for the right person, it will better like a kamuru koma.
Okay.
Because ni ajibe all these 6 candidates, tonya bedamen, fair tedamen. Because mansa mangi kuti mi alongo fair doldo. Everybody's life depends on the leadership. Ni leadership betiata, atula life will be easier. Ni leadership man betia, albetar la batakono for the next 5 years. Munat na ite you will not vote wisely. Ye fan tora, ye la dimba tora, ye kaf normal tora. Even more mi alam ko luntang lem banko kono pang ito lang tora because you contributed to that because you voted for the wrong person based on your wrong interest. So Gambians should definitely consider because Halifa said this is going to be his last attempt, and we are going to miss or lose a lot. That is my advice. Don't not lately, not program again lately.
That's okay. Ngala Madam Lesotho Jambi aba katakambake. Mi e dai samuruno yeah. Mi e dai samuruno ya la moy aliya share alla information on them. She's very brilliant. Okay, thank you.
Binto
I wanted to even translate for you.
No. Okay. So nte lafta mune adla ala diabo kang ole mo Gambiante because after nying nanta kata ngarali sort of be senju alaji. So I need to get off. But lafta min fola janimbe tala pour mulia understand.
Hold on. Madam, hold on. I have a serious caller here that's trying to join in. Before I let you go, hold on. Hello, caller.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Todi Madu.
Yo, Binto Jibril Fadia, Rhode Island, USA.
Yes, Jibril Fadia on the phone.
That's right. Tell him the chairman of APRC here in the United States, Walabe Diamu can be Binto Ngal Kontombaki.
Bismillah.
Jaha New Nala Bubahaba. Deglu na sa program bi is interesting. Te itam dila asone childinga neka is right. Te Gambia bim dore be legi musuño am a woman candidate fogna lolu is important. Donte konne ñu ngi sani the woman policies yo xamne is important te ñom ñoy suñu yaay. So yen so len gene te rew wo gis nak jigéen ko de yobu because ñom luñ am ci dëkk bi lañ ko de bay. Lolu ben la. The second thing is the ideology. Ne am nañ youngsters yo xamne ñoy toppa parti bi di PDOIS pour promote the idea of socialism, independent of socialism. Li one na ne there is a feature for PDOIS. Waaye leena rek mooy li nga xam ne dama ko bëgg a yokka ci li nga xam ne yaa ngi ko wax ndax PDOIS ñun ñooy di founders ñun first meeting toog yi ñoo ko doon ransale at the age of 17 pour Halifa Sallah the first meeting am so there's nothing loo xam ne yaa ngi ko wax fii te nekkul si ñun moo ñu prepare ñun ñëpp ñu nekk si other political parties yi nekk fa leader tey waaye the ideology comme like I said li nga wax capitalism ak socialism it is true te Gambia foog naa ne fu ñu dem kanam dañ war a try ñu change bi mean that ne system bi nga xam ne dañ ko fekka tubaab yi dañ ko inject si ñun ñu grow with that doesn't mean it's the end of the world so we have to be flexible to change ba pare ñu ready to face challenges meaning that ne suñ change system dinañ am ay obstacle meaning ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk di capitalist te nekk the world superpowers duñ bëgg ñu dimbale ñu si suñ GDP bi foog naa ne li nga wax naan drilling about environmental hazards muy environmentalist but li tax Halifa Sallah wax loolu in my belief that ne in order pour nga yóbbu réew you need money pour finance sa programs te da nga war a anticipate ne soo ko starté dinañ la fight so what do you do da nga am plans yoo xam ne da nga ko implement put some mechanism nga seet resources yi nga am pour mun a prepare bu fekkee ne dañ la bëgg a Samsung because of what you believe then yow nga mun a am fooy mun a use pour mun a fanaane loolu tax don't take that out of the manifestation it is very important soo gisee ñoom ñu wax loolu dafa am reasons so bul toppa environmentalist yi ba nga rey sax but system bi nga wax is the best system te soo sotee yaa jàmme loolu la doon introduce free education for girls la starté ñëw primary ñëw secondary ñëw high school waaye mënut a jox ñëpp high school te loolu soo ko seetee is socialist because fii in the United States duñ la jox loolu da ngaa fay pour sa private da nga dee fay sax bi nga graduate nga toog ay years 5 years balaa ngaa fay sa loans so system boobu is a socialist system te soo seetee the best living standards yi nekk si world bi tey 4th 2nd 3rd ba 5th yëpp socialist countries yi la te daf dee promote stability because nit ki soo ko guarantee health care am nga guarantee ko biiram ne am na lum lekka tem educate nga xam ne dina mun a ràññee you know fiction and non-fiction loolu bu amee nit ki daf dee am peace of mind dafa am independence bugguma guddal nag xam naa ne man am one of the students so suma buggee lii dina xaabaabal but I am very grateful to say thank you and I'm motivated I'm hoping that ne Gambia will have a future so moo tax bene duma noppi waaye di la thanks di wax ne system bi is a good system that we have to give it a try.
Thank you brother Fadia.
Thank you very much.
Madam
no brother Fati jërëjëf dama jëloon téléphone bi def ko si suma noppa bi pour ma mun a déggaloo nekk di wax but comme li ma doon wax about environmental issues it's not because of comme law foog ne loolu laa mean by that lu ma mean by that mooy ne globally so people are moving away from the use of oil and gas in our cars where electric cars are a big thing society biir America ñu ngi sampa ay charging stations everywhere rather than more petrol stations ba pare soo xoolee Africa as a continent right dëkk yoo xamante ne dem nañ for oil exploration xalaatal lan la leen njëriñ xoolal Nigeria as compared to Saudi Arabia, whereas Nigeria has more oil than the US. While the average citizen inside of Nigeria benefit from dekabi am oil and bomuno. Look at Congo, for instance. Congo has more natural resources than any other country in Africa. Congo is rich. Like Lola Congo will definitely turn into something else. Why then I guess the popular problem gena bare, popular hair gena bare. So today ñun lu ñoo ut ci ron suuf bi xeex la ñoo indil dafa destabilize suñ dëkkay man moom suma tañoon ñu tegee ko fale ñu innové ñu bokka ci innovation bi so man foofu laa nekk di waxee because lu ma bañ mooy nga am greedy idiots yoo xamante ne ene woon suñ dëkkay gaay dem mine oil ñu dem discover oil ak gold gaay jël ko def ko ci seen pockets yi Gambian coono bi di gën a dem nit yi gën ñoo teg bot mu ñoo destabilize suñ dëkk yi indil ñu fitna indil ñu loo xamante ne ñun xamuñ ko Gambian bi xamut fitna moo tax man right now sax su ma gisee élection nit yi di xuloo di saagante yaay di waxante lu ñaaw dama dee xam ne loolu bokkut si ñun it's not who we are as a country te man suma booba ku ma xam na ne man dama ragal fitna moo tax si politique bi sax man am naa xarit si every single political party in the Gambia and people don't realize it but a lot of people in this country jaamala si ho ak ñoom ba pare previous caller bi lum doon wax li ma bëggoon na wax si soose mooy a lot of times hanga ntela man ninga kango man seneya but lafta mol ye min understand janimbe tala ole mu nyinti nim moko alafta nya keta nim moko alafta kela na presidenti nyanta ka jube fo o mo ala yelobe borila to nyaleti fo ala hakilo londole bije andum fo ala juso balafale bije ninga je ka fo nying ku saba o moya soto den ngen na karta sta nga diala bon ni moma yitandi ka fo aye nyin ku saba soto den tol ya jube momi ya soto ngen na karta diala so ole munte la mandin ko wati diala
ya katala I'm even surprised but one more message I want you to send that strong message. Callers, forgive her, she have to go I cannot believe everybody's calling but we'll have her back. Y'all forgive her right now, she have to go. She gave us 1 hour 30 minutes of her time. Send a strong message of peace, any language. I will even prefer it in Wolof and Sarahule, if you don't mind.
No, I mean, luma buga wax mbokay moy ne ngeen xamne Gambia bi ñun ñepp ko boka te luñ mëna am ci aduna bi ni jama su amoté suñ dëkk bi ni mu ngi melni amuñ dara xeyna ñun suñ maasi mën nañu wax ne am nañ kéti benen dëkk te binta mu ngi Atlanta xeyna dinañ wax ne lu xew Gambia ñun mën nañ sé génné suñ bopa waye nañ xamne suñ talé safara Gambia suñ bokay duñ ci mucc suñ lu nekk la so motax ñun ñep nañ bay suñ xel xamne political season daf dee dem te def dee ñëw waaye lu gën a important mooy jàmm buñ am teranga buñ am Gambia lépp lu tax ñun ñu nekk Gambian soo seetloo Gambia dafa utee ak yeneen dëkk yu ñu surround yëpp te lu waral loolu mooy ne Gambian bi xolam dafa am yoo xamante ne antanu ko soo gisee ñun Gambia fii nii for a while dañ dee wax ne smiling coast of Africa ba pare violent crimes amul Gambia mun ngaa bàyyi sa bunta bi mu ubbi te nga xam ne kenn du ñëw def la lu bon loolu lañ xam te ñun ñëpp nañ gën a try ñu gën a promote loolu pour Gambia so pour jógee ko si loolu li ma leen di ñaan rek mooy ñun ñëpp ñu bàyyi suñ xel less than 1 week moo ñu desee comme December 5 dinañ am président bu ees man muy suma candidate nekkut suma candidate dinaa nangu ndogali Gambian yi ak Gambian yi luñ bugga te ñun ñëpp dinañ si ànda dinañ support président boobu noonu te dinañ liggéeyam moom num ñu pamit pour ñu liggéeyam moom ñun Gambia moo ñu tax a jóg képp koo xamante ne taxaw nga élection o taxaw nga dafa fekk ne danga éenee pour def dara pour sa réew ñun ñëpp na leen fàttaliku loolu ñu dembale wante ñu bàyyante xel ñu gën a xam ne ñun ñoo bokka ñun matawut nda Sarahule nga nda Mandinka nga nda Wolof nga nda Joola nga ñun ñëpp ñoo bokka because all we have is our country and all of us should have a Gambia first mentality and know that politicians and politics will come and go but at the end of the day our identity as Gambians will always remain with us. Mare musarankulu nga kanwari ni ngati ni kadanga ni ke politique begarini koye himbega to prono karta nun sedi ama koye baga horanto maka dunadi himbega koto Gambia politique labarini politician labarini irabatagana khawku o Gambia no maka do ko gana himbe kum ke jamane no kon onatu nan to do yimbe no akumu tora sundari onatu nanti tora ke rini kato koy ado romunyan e kum politician no be no gara tuira ba ma bene badaga na dingira be kan lingita kha ho sun to kuma ke jamane jamu be ga Gambia corona nyango yimbe ndangani corona nya alla dangani onan cimme do kenga onatu nanti be suga di Gambia mare me wa maka dingirai do ga mare me ga sere maka dingira sui onatu nanto no kilun to kodui ko ngada kebe ko sranko lundangani ki adama baru hay asuwatu nanti adi baba nakanga mo be sere suga di so ni kenyai do ga ana ko gida nyugo ay katinkirangan ka because ngatu nanti ke election be garini lanta in kartankinne nin kartankinni sere ay sahunte nga sere be adi nga sikito mo be kam so ndaka nyaga ka kumbe nu ga terin kandini corona ona jamu be ga Gambia no kondi khorona ken to ko Gambia danga nono kilun to ko do mey ona digamburu ko ne ngara ona kayinde ngara ona tunanti Gambia no so khalli khanwari.
Yeah, nothing else. We appreciate you, sister.
Thank you. Thank you, Binta. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Oh, God is good. How was that? Amazing. We will continue with the conversation. We let Jaha go. She have to go to a campaign. I just don't know what to say. Just word of appreciation. This is it. This is what I tell you guys. Binto Media Network. We are not for one party. We are for Gambians. We are for the entire country. No language. You know, y'all know I'm British. The only thing you can get me when you say speak Wolof completely. That's the only problem. But I understand every part of it. I'm sorry, I wanted to speak the local language. We have little bit language barrier. Gambia mentality. I message labang minki of peace. Nko political party ole denta nyim platform ola jang. Kex mbafola la do ko beteata ale sister nying ala fain to ko baraka ala time min tuje abisi ta nyawonya ala hajo tuje anata nin sita jang kachata. What else? I really appreciate you. Y'all stand by. I have the second part of the show. We have Amadou by Force coming up, GMC. Let's find out what happened to GMC. What happens at the courts? What are they going to do? What is the future of the GMC? My fatila pati, minaka cha sambala nanjang, ning na broda, minketa Amadou by Force. Alimbatunga selendinang, nko, ngali tentu ngali jeyi ala o mari nga dunyun kuwolu kono nga finta kono kaira kono. Gambia is one person nko ndamal ala nga kairo duwa nga beka hadamayat ya karte fa yeta sila suokon Jaha ala fa ya baraka mane muso ala baraka. Hello Ahmad.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum.
Ahmad ila video ke on mbukeje laftan ni part 2 ke demanding ibulobe mutari nyaaw nyal lafta ngela time ndin suñe bul demanding camera kenyo on
ya long time mo man sia baga bari mbe okay
yeah time o kenye demanding din na drong ini molye nyomoy jang laftal fanan kala ngolon na yalon ne you know Binto Media Network nal denta janna you know Amadou you are welcome to Binto Media Network nge tentu nge jayi kote lafta e murun nang ni yakacha demanding kudantan ne kumpa mimbe kerin GMC ikamoy
okay abarka bake Binto
bismillah ini mol senyo konto
mbe konto nambe tentula mbe jayla ibe do kendo menke kan Gambia banko kan anim banko e bantala mbe la viewasol be konto nambe be tentula mbe jayla ikela time mem bulakana Binto bantaba kana la moyro la o mu kukende baleti kanyo sembentuya abe mu banku do ko wolte bafole be ko ya barga ino
bidin nomination o sita nga honorable Mai Fati jelen taka file koto nga jele atata nomination dola ntolbe wulta nga congratulate bar biri resource all fintita nata jele ko inata ate anata ke o molle timini yalon ko ye disqualified le mina fo ya tinne ya disqualified
IEC ko Ridengo region mo party o party ye 200 signature samba ndol GMC ngamen samba Banjul administrative area is more than 200 signature but ngajele nomination after nomination iko mtol manketa 15 signature la
okay
15 people iko manketa wala so ntel ngaje ko won foul play la ketaje bari ite party o reject la mo me alonko ay more than 7,000 signature samba you will reject for only 15 signature. That's clear foul play. So until ngalonko wolem woto IEC ye nambarante anin tapale al samba mulkan because mulbe nyanta lo nale ko manke kuti mel ko mutilinade hana tari fam tonya manke to 15 people 15 la mo me alon ko I almost more than 7,000 signatures samba no manke to 15 la imanya na ko disqualified just 15 signature damo
Niko 7,000 mini yake 7,000 because ngala no ko 7 administrative area
because area ika 5,000 signature sambale follow the one countrywide let us 5,000 and after every region 200 vote so ntole men samba more than 7,000 signature
but ali also to other administrative area so Banjul le al dasa demande
Abe Banjul way is 200 every region is 200 Banjul nga men samba je ndol nga 284 le samba Banjul
okay
so ikon manketa 15 lela so ndol kabrin tata court ngoy ko ye fam proof ya fa mole ko manketa 15 la ani nim pati jumale benda wo mo 15 wo mo 15 okam because iko ndole modole register me alon ko pati dol fanal yo register le so ngoy yo pati yo nitani mola pati jumale moti they cannot identify that party imo pati yo futandino imo pati yo nitandino mola so automatically foul play le bije anu kote mol vindicate le ko ni amanta silola to nyatije
so court ye mina fa kali ta wo fenkol wo signature ni ba
court ko le ko atul fond les loi men alla independent electoral act law ni atul fond man tamo wala pour ka candidate to reject
okay
so jani candidate to reject inyanta ka leta safele yaki hay follow ka fay ko imanketa nyinni la jani a reject ya andu nyanta period of time le dilala within that period kono ayo found nati nama nati within that period kono then isa reject bare itel mo woke itol andum fanay mal leta kintele fo kabrin tata IEC puka appeal ilafta ka leta nati mole taji Gambia nem ma hakilotu bake nyin IEC ibena banko malala and let me tell you this very clear kabrin starting coming for mole wolam nyintiko this is not about GMC 2016 IEC la nyin disem rubbish wala impasse not because ya jame malafi wulila ya jame sontale ako asontale aboitale and he believe ko mabul's voting is one of the most transparent voting system in the world ya jame ofule but within 24 hours IEC murutana equally mistake wala soto equally mistake wala soto base mafana the total number registered in base yo bechika yala coalition la vote kan in base area so kabri ya jame fana kabri to APRC fana you find out ya je ko this is foul play so ya jame fana balanta so mol dundi impasse kono not because ya jame malafi wulila but this is the reason wala dundi impasse kono ntamita wotola nata voters registration IEC more register mele alon ko ito apiata 3 places dol to ka fundi gunjur ito ita fundi sanya ito ita fundi banjul mol chochota IEC ko ila mistake long but after they cleared those mistakes in the system mol nyabe o bela mesirim betenkundi mbotaje koteke mole voters card tombon jama tombon dulato ka voters card jama taribe jurmari dulato IEC ko itelleo samba itata fayje because ila taka janele bari ya inata dinko si ya kije so go funtita wo dulato mol nyabe o fana bela mol be sirim be dere IEC korete la voters card melia lonko imanni dala i korete wo janila no bari itata yewlandi dulato moyna ayo tombo ayo jeje kana funtindi social media to mol be nyaaje molena wo ko diamu so mol nyaabe bomola be petena mol be deri mbeten gudi so ntambita wo bela ngana nomination oto nte I registered my party $1 million nte reject femfendi na for 15 signature nata court koti anyita nila ko yemen kani silo manda Allah tan nte reject la na wo right la wallahi billahi tallahi nim gambe no sonta nin ko sumata tay on the 4th December be fenjela membe tamila because until we are not going to relent, this is our right and we have to fight till last minute. Because until this is our citizenry right ko contest as a candidate and we have did everything possible. I is here mem for nga kodoli ya be mutale everything nga thinking nga be mutale so imana mo reject fena for 15 vote. Ngata a court nga winje court mol grant ko nyanta contest la I is a more reject. Moment nata ni winter we are not going to accept it. Moment the presidential winning I is enter reject him so nga contest moment the winter ndola party we are not going to accept it and we are not going to ndelta murula koma ndol mu gambe dum lati komi mol be mu gambe dum ti nyame ndola party mol right soto nyame mol party dole right soto nyame we have the same right and we want Gambian to respect our right and la mol right respect let them give us maximum respect the respect we give to the other political parties lafta mol yole di mol
so sa albe content because ngajele koto may populist ko atolbe lola al fayel so albe muruna
kote mol clear ko nyanta na right sotol pour ka contest and we IEC inform le ko so nyanta contest lal
so sai albe ballot box so albe tara ballot box so toleba ali time sotol because nyum ko sutiatal sibitola
hana tara be kala sinne ntola ballot box so ya londi ninga men soto wala mu harje
okay
ninga men soto wala mu harje but hana be kala sinne I is in the ballot box so ya londi because ni ma londi ibe problem wala create kanda itante balila na right la de because mo dinkurun kileta sirinje ka fa bentel balila na right la untelte sonna wala sambuja tamon ki gambia de sambuja jay atele
sabar kanane sabar
okay sorry for that language
sabar ngalo ne ko akoleata
sambuja jay atele siru abisi woblato ndol kabrin tata na registration ngana ko dol be sambayo mutajel ndol tata katana apilo ki ja akata non se jammo fu mole aka fu mole ko I cannot help for abijele kantel help ba abijele ka tonya sabatindi bam fu abijele kantel mako amantar je pour kantel mako abijele pour ka tama silola loi même fo ay tama wala not kata kantel mako intel masula mako la bloco intel manta pour ka mako ro ngina bloco intel tatale pour ka loi même fo ayo tamandi aka fu mole ko men dia tale aloke is that man tam gambia atele tam IEC to bam patele tam go bankot I mean, we are giving strong warning to Gambians. Nimole amra ko ndel doftale malombe menke kan nalonembe menke kan. It is painful when people stop your right for no reason or no ground. So mulbe alon ko adimina wartale. So ndel kabrin 2009 ngana pati register. We spend a lot of money in this party. Ndel ena for jang for last minute it enter reject for dalila kante. So ndel manke banko jawote. Niaje kabiri lumme aketa mawuli nga maka mama ndimbula ta silo no mbata luano ma because of na party leader alaftale nga tama silo la nga tama nga tenkunke an Cairo nga ta tonyala so ndata tonyala sain kitio na tonya nyita nimula so laftale mol yo respect mol melbe kuma kunta on fokan isalon ko ibe kuma kunta on mel fokan this is not about GMC it's about Gambia. My Ahmed Fati kabria bondi interior minister ni kuma kuntan sifale fota bade akuwa na dam may la akuwa ni na anata banko be bendi say mbako non mantra ko no say mulbe falay fay be mol mutale be mol kankuntula may bi je wato mena as interior minister wo ku sifal bu ka fen bade kabria may bondi natale fani Allah kan so ka try ko mo kendo gam africano malafi la mo kendo la ya try pour ka tent pour ka la spirit of ka dendi so yo bekata so ya dendi sai bi mantra problème ko no so ni ndo fanan kita muli amira mailem o GMC lam let me tell you ni manke about my o GMC
okay
anu ninga la nga mira ko GMC lam ali nga si for on the 4th December ibe kujala na banko ine nyama imam memmi la balbu na
Ha, bari am sign to lumbe Cairo le duakam. So
No
alo mari.
Cairo menyanta Cairo sabat lan wolom toñati. Nin toña man kama Cairo buka sabat yalo ngol kanam panene kafu ko ha alinga Cairo duwa. Ibe Cairo duwa Cairo be sabat le la banko kanya men toña man la banko. Nin toña man ta Cairo kana hey. Mo be lafta Cairo la.
So ni sambu jankata man time so ta atol albe muruna court le kote ke bang.
Sambu jam like I time so ba man intel man sulat sambu jam na time la. Intel sulat mem right to ay okay. Simple. Sambu jam na time manala time bali until we don't need until man need sambu jam na pa until ni ta luai mem fo yeta wala. Simple as that. Ni man ta wala until fana luai mem fo until beta mala wala. Simple.
Okay.
Yes. Until bo position all.
So ngani ninkar dole so to ngajela ko alla party mol fanan alla executive for dole fanan tata political party dole to mini alon kaliye expelle bawo ntolla jang binto media network ndol ka tida la sambana jama itela mini tida to la ka jar represent bar ngajela tida fana endorsement ok be nga fatu fal fanan jela tata Suleiman Fatu Jamme ete amira nyin kodum atalla party affect la bam
Yalong nibe Johnny kono
ha
nini modole Johnny dam tanyola inol buka futanyola
ha
okay nyimu political sometimes nibe political kono certain decision for ya make GMC until na patio amu independent political party leti. We are not relying on any political party. Political party killing ti jam yalonko aka kodo din to la purungana politiko tamani. Ntol James Nkolle kana party o tamani. But ni momon ding party di wording you want to undermine our political leadership. Be bondila na party o konole. No matter who you are. Momon dina moti ni lafta la taram bulo ni lafta ibe ko ki ka me alon ko anin GMC la constitution o manta duro be bayla na pati okono so wolati nanga nyin decision o make because molle me alon ko ilaftana leadership undermine la so wolati nanga bondi je because ititala yeta discussion o pati o tola yena pati o me ki yeta kol ke me alon ko pati o me bulala so yena yafo ko be pati o forcer la ke sondi wala ntel la pati o to ki lawti moti na pati o oxygen no la de la patio manque fonkoti comme nda ni te lafta kila nyame ya ke wonyama no mo clinti ja hani na pati data o kela no because to la constitution ko ni pati be kafla meta congress le so itete na doro ya fo ko ibe mol la pati oxin la kata kadi particular individual la o pati la del la pati o ta mo wonya so momoni involved ta aussi falto doro be dismiss la so wala tan nga wudi ci mal mek nge bay wol man la woten ate amon fembo na patiola amon fembo na patiola
so ngama janni bita ABC ta nyaaw nya janni bita lafte diamu ila pati molie directly
lafta même pour la James Nkole ye la moy na pati executive la nini decision nata James Call no mundi yalon koy mu James dinglati ye bula wonoma mo kana fenke mo kana diam fo mo kana lendir fo mol be la taimota nga blana party leader noma so ni ani executive fo mol ni même fo nga wote Gambia mu luwa bankolati adum jikitale ko Gambia la luwa bumbe independent din at the moment nga woji ko sotole because nga jele ko ye tonya sabatindi na karola le andu hana manke nyinti kiti dol tambitala no melalon ko e tonya sabatindi jele so lata nyina la ko kiti buñi be independent dina so na parti militant be sa fo ko ibe tenku ye kam e kana fitna ke e kana moneni kana bula mola na parti na politiko be takanya moral so nga continue wala bari sa fo ko ni ko be mbali la na nyantola so ni executive ni decision what decision nata nga wuli nga bula wono.
Okay, thank you brother. Yela time is yeah unkontalu bula la wanyama me sabana hani busy ta nya fange sabana fa be terrete le funol to yokoto bay kon danya
bi la fang na campagne o damuta bi na campagne o damuta
wala
ndata bizirim bi bagale bari alhamdulillah yalo ila platform all the me I respect back because you are very independent. You are here for everybody. So
Thank you.
ila platform I wara katambi ni no. Baraka back ila doko be senarina abe betarina. Ibuka son nendirlaje ibuka son kuma kolenaje wa alhamdulillah. So alma doko sono yale bloko.
Thank you, brother. Nga sabana we do ko la nga sabana ngai hani fonga GMC fana nakachamo what happened what mineketa aluma nyon so tatol min ben jibe kan ko sibiti kotembe tarajambe kachakela leja life mbe mo soto la election house mbe mo soto la kola dole bijam I will be alama ya chika abe call ke kanja ngalo no kumala badami important bake na laftali call ke nambe 10 minutes dila la atol le time immediate na laftali call ke nan ngal so time la this is it akaye ko this is it kate fayo musibitolti alama
hello assalamu alaikum binto
todi mado
tuni lafta ka don tole
but akai karte fayo musibitoti sayum fere agati li jelletu itama endorsement o hani to fange ma endorse what on don beto tula ko
okay like binto like yemin for tonyalom like na endorsement ni mba folale to nyi mo Fatmata Dukureh
okay
lafta nun ka call ke na sister bije bari man loki fatata but amang graw hani bi
but please diam
no amang garaw abe mo kilineti after all ndunta same
yes.
So I hope about moila or anybody me along ko genuine intention soto napati PDOIS mba ko mobe ala baraka bari lafta ka gambienol yamari minna ke dani fana minna wolom PDOIS to be honest nobody is blind nobody is deaf we know what is going on and they know we Gambians know Halifa Sallah is the best candidate in that country and he have the country at heart. The man is very, very genuine and very humble and honest. I don't know if you guys are listening, but this is a very strong message to the all Gambian people, irrespective of wherever we are. If we don't vote for this man, it's over for Gambia. When I say it's over for Gambia, I really mean it because like there is no other candidate that can do it. Like it's there, it's evident since 30-something years. Can anybody say a negative thing about Halifa Ababakar Sallah? No. The only thing they say is, no, he is a socialist, he is this, he is that. Yes, he is a socialist. I am in Germany. Right now, I am sitting at home with my 3-month-old baby because we are living in a socialist country. They are paying me for, for something I'm not working for because it's a socialist country. So why are Gambians saying that they don't want that type of governmentship in that country? I cannot understand. More, I'm able to go for my nigga account. I was just sending so that everybody will understand. Munati na Gambian on man la fi Kairola because momo minko Halifa Sallah am socialist wolati ate work la ato lafta capitalist o letara la sate kono wolam ka capitalize alkan ka la kodo ta ka domo tengo fe min na ke soto ya ta ya domo ka kodo don tole mobu ka lan kodo ka dun dame since after independence till now Gambia be julo soto kan ka julo soto ponto lafta ka fa wala kono bang anga badia fasa mo muneti na interest be damento nga je fasa to nya be damento nga je fasa anga ala nin kilaje nga kol be landi aside nga voting ke Halifa ye na dunta bo fenko voting dulalto al quartier talia di Halifa Sallah la wallahi azim ala ya lon kam min fo na man voting ke Halifa ye min ketan this last 2016 min 5 years o kono the next 10 years kono mina dun na worst thing crime rate bitala high la Gambia be kelale ko Brazil be nyamin ibe lola tilkunte ba yena yela fengol wafati bulu ye so murola ye fana musolbe wulu kan ibe fa kan ni to la musolbe wulu la ye samba tubabu du idingol be tama kan damen to min diatel altol vota so ambu wala nyin tama dulata e be murundila nalman votin ke halifa e alka badi yale fasa o manke badi ya fasa minati ila interest be damento idingol la interest be damento mamari ngol la interest o be damento mfani mbanyo la interest o be damento nyenta ka votin ke wolto nimtu abol fatata tenne America two parties le kalu Republicans and Democrat nimin nafta ka ke mansati ibe you will hustle for it to stand. Muna na government wo kela no bang pati o pati na wulita dorong ka fa ko ha nga voting ketem fama benun janne mbama benun janne be voting kela wolto ni nga wo mo mbalo ka fale. That is ignorance. I'm very sorry for the word. What is the living in denial? Why are you denying yourself from peace? Votal len Halifa Sallah so len sanelul Halifa Sallah karta wallahi aziman malen ko ñun ñu ngi fi de ñun ñu ngi enjoy suñu bopa fi duñ fi meyati ken derem la la wax derem lañ meyati wut ken dañ sona si ñaanatu bi wax bi duñ ko fi neexal duñ ko fi lamlamé sona nañ Gambia so len votalu Halifa Sallah ngir gis nañ lu fi happen 2016 place ñoo ñu fufulé place yépp def lu leen ne soo fi ne Barrow ku nekk ñu jóg attaque la di same nit yooyu ñoo ñëw te ñu ne nañ leen joxe dëkk bi man I don't hate anybody ñun I have respect for everybody waaye nañ am principles suñ boppa ñu teach everybody a lesson pour next time ñu honest suñ boppa ala baraka GMC la ko fa na lafta ko domandim fay ji la wolam yeta na court le ila right lom yeta court likewise Dr. Cisse ni fengo man right aliyeta court what is right is their fundamental right but in the situation in kono right now is very very fragile. Gambia is in a very fragile position inyanta ka minke but in court order la ka fuko ila right lom pudi yelo bari inyanta ka fengol mim mankete inyanta ka wolle fulfill then IEC should allow them to participate but in it mo will fan court order nyim fan fulfill how will IEC allow you to participate ya lo nga tonya fo ñoy ikafo ko okay ni man participate ni mi winta ite sonna what a tonyati ibe sonna le dia kuya because you know what luwa le beta maka wasate kono momo min ko ibe Gambia destabilize ala fa ngole be loli ñaato ikana mol batandi ila right lom nak definitely anybody miya fa ila right nga manke tonyati ya on sala bari ay si luñ wax ñu yobu ko nañ ko yobu lu des then ñu bàyyi leen ñu contest it's very simple buguma wax more about it dafa delegate waaye jërëjëf daal bootal le Halifa Sallah PDOIS te Halifa dina win this time
admatan text na Saturday mbela fla de na no yo landi corner to ya fa ko join na Gambia do ko de na no landi corner to na ko bota
bindo manga problem te ya long Halifa la ko PDOIS ninka ko anin Gambia la ko nka sawar je bakale wallahi azim a wudu be text la le en no mbata bari Gambia no ali nga nyaayere mbe dentale wallahi mbe dentale te bola ñoko no bari nga tonya fasa nga botin ke tonya fasa wala ka fay Halifa di bastidi ya jata it's very simple and it's clear out there it's not about crowd it's about votes and only 5th PDOIS is going to win inshallah rabbi ambe text la barak thank you thank you
alimbala yo okay kola door fele hello kola
yeah assalamu alaikum bindo
todi madum kotek for our records ni ajen ka tol nyininga for the records okay
yeah Abla the number one fan of your platform Abdullah
okay for ngi sidde boto ko do nyofoti de
today okay, I was somehow late because the first segment was but after second part because this GMC guy is it Amadou by force. Thank you very much.
Fenkale soto Jaha Dukureh.
No, Jaha Dukureh ngatala ending ne soto but matata la moy bada because mba moy ka fa dam let him give a strong peace message to the Gambia. Yeah, but let me start from where ngadam la moy wolem fenketati Amadou by force. Actually I come for me it makes sense to nyal them. This thing mo Gambia built yal ne ko ñing IC min ketem be yalla ne ko fenkolem but actually tonya mu kulti melam ka bukan nakare Ninko IC must start Ninang. IC start 2016 nela, but all of us we give a deaf eye to it because of what was the peace. We hated Jame, including people like others. Manson Katonya for. So Manson Katonya for that the same Kato, because that the mistake they did in 2016 was the mistake of the century, member of Gambia, mistake of the century. Because in the world, dunia be nene buka mo dulatoko election mistake battle. Asotata Gambia dambalto. But mbe Manson Katonya for because munem belafrene Jame aha. Andong ala qualified court mo be ko hani atakela because of munem nga hetle. So Manson Katonya for auto nga bliver again ibota ji sign woku sign ngota mindi atambita le sign let's accept that ko mistake wala ibota ji député la carte fayo inate ken they make the same mistake nko hani bo Jamela party no problem, we hated them, so no problem. Often and sign let's call that a mistake again. Recently covering fenko registration on nata. If indeed na iko mistake that is 300 people registered at double standard. Nganyaka so wala moment son katonya fo iko nganyaka si. If you can iko mistake that, but ajube that muna mistake si fale ori me ite you have enough time for ite from way ite be control in fangol be binto comme ça ite ninte ni jaha nim fenke amadu fango minu benu fengo kono sa en control le be teglale kala ite le be kodo mutala mo be 50-50 di la binto abete la tabulo kono ba kontela inyanta mo nane le mete ko mo anyanta kala 200 ko mo le 150 wala ko mo fenko. So mo mistake si falo ko bete bulo kono be la tabulo kono muna me sonnal ko mistake ko le woti bare tonya fo because man la fi ka tonya la fo because of munem amantol concern dolem andon neaje ye ala jele ay fenke mo jamal punish no nyin kusi falto even anabila salif ala mol ala ye to fenko min police ay minu fenke jarabi keke sula wala ngolti dis ni nat na ye to fenke ye punish because group ni atata fata la ta sinya saballa biding ala ko e kana jalo fay sibitu lungo la e kana jalo fay to ya je sibitu lungo ni wo lungo kay ni tara jalo fay ka nye jamal de soto iko wolo be fenkela wala do groupe do sita kono mi alon ko wol bugata jala fay wala de bare tol man sonna ka to nyaare fo because of money kete tol ko ametol fenke concern ni ala be tol police la be ni dol le police la bare birin jara wo nata wodol min lo ta ka kawando ko ka ala bula ni fenko wol damale kanata bare ñunu min lo ta ko itol ta fola kay to because ametol concern itol make itol be le dabula ta punishment o kono ndol gambia na sa ajere ismaila si afele docteur Ismaila Cissé biring fenko ajube dron fo lo akilin da mala benu je Gambia pour to select a candidate lo akilin da mante kat flag bearer
kunu nga kacha ke jang na le time soto mba fala mo be mbal be encourage la ale ta duma je video la duma je nga lawyer Melville le soto ay nying court order nying ayabe le faram fan signé mine keta akol dun tanyadi le ndol min man constitutional long aning man yalo ni moye famo readi nsa read no abcd bara aya wala nga lawyer sambana ela case I understand, yeah? Yes, ka understand. Aning rules jamal ning ku jamal na silandal ni luwati yo akachajanne. Yes.
Okay. Binto baraje last parliament election or before last there was one Pa Amadou Suso. Pa Amadou Suso reject because he was a convict.
Okay.
A lot of parliament fenkol but reject because he was an ex-convict.
Okay.
So don't you think that they are contradicting themselves because of you reject somebody because of a convict issue, you mode of convict issue? Because I don't hate anybody. Gambia ndeka ala dane min wala mo wimbe kala mo la candidate next president Gambia samba ku I own not ndemantra do kan konte kamin support o CJ de kende ma min be Gambia samba no ndeka wala do pour o CJ
yalo ne Binto Media Network e kam follow le tolo na for akad na force fan
yalo
ne topic tanyin dula Gambia kono janni ni election nyin sanjo be kono mammin kacha nim patiol ya kachale nin loyal ya kachale nin concern Gambian ol ya kachale nga line yela mobe le moli saferol kele we discuss about everything. Yes, So
yeah, but ila kununta okay why miss it because I went to train so janim be putala nang yeah I was so late. Yeah, okay. No, even Savara, thank you very much. But say Bindo, Megame no Daniela Kukila wala ko ngasonto nyama nga laughing katonya for you. Because this political coding in any tajela president aspiration wala fengo candidate a family mo adingole mo fala fengo le mo yenalo ka wuri comme tol dobal dingol kata nyam ka boring tol nokan. So this political akana la kata barantol Gambia betulal de.
Okay.
So nga jube mimbe beti ala Gambia mimbe fenke la Gambia nga ko fenke political na tambeta la because ntolo ka ate kela muk fo ke yalne o ntola badi yabe bolo nyoko wala na sinyo yabe bolo nyoka but this political kanantol jahase because say no kay ndol sen yahudo la daji ko Gambia no sen wala dundi na sondomol kono fam fo sen atambita le fam fo bare malon fam ka ben tol fe because it be more tend to be ba jayla because of inabe political particular na sama ina tala black le ikala kuma jawol da male fo ene bukala kuma kendol fo wala ike da falen fo ikala moni minne ma o mari jay mo hadama ya sifale wote
o fanan political na so ise nyi la wala ni le dunna political ko ne salon ko yusu
no bindo wala nante political na actually buka follow back because this nasty words and infenko this word coming din yola actually ila platform le mostly won kadame follow up ka jube ka fenko because ala nte buka fi ndela wulu la mani la na ma ala na la kila
yeah Saturday mbe tarra jannembe live coverage kala mobe jannembe
no,
patiol sambala nang
always ngatula je
yeah
always ngatula ila fenko follow la but Saturday yale because ngatula this train fenko la so wala na fenko but thank you very much actually keep it up
brother. Thank you bro yeah thank you saimbe so en la jang nal mete nyin jonito mba fala carte fayo nal meta nga kachasi fa bele ke jambare nata trial nga ka hormone mbunya kon nse dolu soto correct womo alala kerolet nga dolu soto wrong aliye yam fanye nga gesol mini invite nang nga layno yele mini saferoke we are one Binto Media Network naliye do ko min de keja ntolum betentro nin jeyro ci kala mba murundi la tolkan nin tolkana janne mbuka mosoto nin min ka kacha nta kala no so wala tinna natole nyin kacha min keja nyin sanji fulo kono mba fola election fo bi nkola Sunday bola kono ngali tentu ngali jey ma fale mbita dula ntol national issue barembe min fola alen senin carte fay dimanche sibitulungo kayra kono mbinala mbe live coverage kela nin timo nin mol bele bina atol yal nyilla patio momola mba trala nga sambana hani minimum time soto mbe layno yelela nali be kacha ali ya fontole ali mine mira mine ket kare janalus ali na number safe ntol den takala no without ya so nim pareta election ola mi yet palaso ta mbenga kafu nga banko doku wok banku doku ntol binala jawwala nga fay ko na education system ali jana jibeba na health system ali jana jibeba national assembly ali nyinkete mbe wala kala ni ale son niyola nga sele ngaji na tol be alama albe dunia dawda alama je sone ala alama illa wallahi nin kombe continue la fambita kumbolal nga mol min sambananja nga faaliya nte mallonde soto bare bi nsa faaliya I'm really proud of myself and my team because of atol min londitiol sambana nalika kacha at least mo kelin sa fono ko nga fellana alla so karitol mo kelin sa fono ko nga nyina mo yalla sot mo filin sa fono ko nga nyina confirm ngal tentu ngal jey alaman dunna sibito kono nga bankaira kono nga muru nyokan kote nga nyokanu nga nyoyaya ntol binalal sibito mbe tarajang wala na last message ti for the election. Binal Sibito Alkana Miss Mbe Mosotola on the ground. Han connection or mansot. Allah side. Alkana sila mbe telefono tala near announcement o kafoi parade. Ntolba faram fans la liele mbe timo le sotola. All right. Bina ala baraka. Ninke ba. Sa Daud mbe nyim play la nga play for on the 5th. Na nakarte for peacefully. The reason me ati nanka Sa Dauda play. Sa Dauda Jawara. A nyimbanko aninna alifale nyimbanko tanyele kaira kono. Peacefully. Nka development o min nka tamo le min atekela no min peace man sot. Wala na nyillungol kono bembe balandin Sa Dauda. Alamane manen kafar kelay. Aya katanye. Nko kukilin drong. Wala mkairot. Wala yatina Gambia ibanku jamale dam because of Cairo. Allah barak. I love ya. Thank you, Jaha. Thank you, Al. Allah baraka. Job. Alama tamo ya luwati. Alama albe da Paul. Allah baraka, Allah baraka. Thank you all very much. Dukureh. Allah baraka. Ali, thank you all. Jamme. Abi, Allah baraka. Jibi. Alimbatu. Tolle be jahase kamulja. Allah barako. Allah baraka, Allah baraka. Thank you all. We'll be here on Saturday. We'll be here. Live coverage. Inshallah. We will have a team panel. We will have a panelist that will come and help us out with the analysis. Yes. Allah baraka. Follow us and subscribe. Allah baraka. Sumbundu. Thank you. YouTube. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Allah baraka. Allah baraka. Alf say, thank you. Yawa, thank you. I will see you Saturday, inshallah. We'll be here before counting starts. We'll be here. Thank you all very much. In all our areas,